better than me, and then I'm gonna be sad.
Not every pee-pee time is a poo-poo time. But I can't even get through it.
Bro, I just saw a dude do it on TikTok, and I thought, I feel like I could replicate that really well. The funny thing is I don't really have a Joker impression, like, typically. Like, that's not in my bag. Like, I've watched him do it, and I kind of watched it a couple times, and I can only do it at my best in that phrase. Like, I only have that phrase down. That's it. I don't have anything else.
I mean, whatever works.
Yeah, I mean, you got those phrases that you have to, like, I can do a decent Barack Obama, but I have to go, my fellow Americans, there's
certain phrases that are like, you have to have those.
Exactly.
Which is good, because, like, if you're most comfortable with that, that's great, because, like, that's the most obvious, like, word you use.
And then, like, I don't know, Kylo Ren, more! More! Cowards! Shit like that.
Now, not every pee-pee time is a poo-poo time, but every poo-poo time is a pee-pee time.
Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dads, listening to Tomcats, talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. Get some weed in now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Perfect. So let's jump right in. Sadly, today we are without Joseph George for, the Penny Bloom Podcast here. We're doing Marvel : WandaVision : The Watchmen. It's the WandaVision Watch. You know what it is. We're talking episode 6, this Halloween spooktacular, and I am joined by Miles Buttress. What's up, buddy?
Doing well.
Good to hear. Good to hear that you're doing well. And on the screen below me that I can see and you cannot, KBZ, Kyler Barnett. Hello.
How's it going? So I got a question. Without Joseph, am I actually still underneath you? Am I going to ruin something for the people here?
Well, kind of, because you've only been below me twice.
I just believed you every time. I was like, man, we are really getting lucky. I was like, we are getting really lucky.
And often you are not there, but it sounds good, so I stuck with it.
Hey, it's fine by me. I didn't mean to ruin it for the people.
Nah, man, I'm down with the fourth wall break every now and then, like some WandaVision. So, overall, how'd you guys feel about this most recent episode, the Halloween Spooktacular?
So, I guess the thing about this was I feel like the most snippets, I guess, that stuck out to me in the trailer, just because we went in the trailer sometimes from, like, black and white, and stuff, we bounced around. Getting these color pops and these costumes, like in their OG costumes, that stuck out in the trailer so much. So, like, I guess what I'm saying is the anticipation for this one was really high for me. I was really looking forward to it. And I feel like not only was just the setting and the theming of this one of my favorites, probably my single favorite, actually. I think the content of the episode was like, man, this one is probably my favorite, just in general across the board.
What's interesting for me actually is that, like, the first watch I really enjoyed it, but I saw people saying that it was their favorite, and I didn't feel that way after my first watch of it, and I don't know why. But then I rewatched it and I was like, okay, I get it. That was exciting. That was thorough. Like, I guess I just got accustomed to what we've been kind of getting from one, and then this really was a left turn,
Yeah,
so
I think they throw so much at us in this one. Like, we got a lot when we think about it. I mean, we'll get into it, but like, Vision arguably has its biggest story, like, plot of the whole show. Like, it largely builds the most in this one. And then on top of that,
has, like, the most plot in, like, his character ever.
Right. Yeah. And then on top of that, you get the kids, you get the twins. Evan Peters is kind of doing some interesting things. Hayward. There's just so much.
Hayward's around
So
being a
much.
dick.
Yeah, I mean, what's new? But like, it's even more dicky-some this episode. I'm gonna make that a phrase, dicky-some.
Dickie-some. What's interesting for me is that like you know how you're saying we get a whole lot in this episode. The first time I took this in, I didn't get a lot out of it. I saw that we expanded the fucking hex, and I was like, that's all we got, and I'm cool with that. Obviously, it was fucking awesome. Like, that's great. But then like upon rewatch, when I was going to take my notes, I was ready to just do a loose outline, just highlight the things that were most important. But then I ended up writing every single fucking thing down because it's just easier to do a scene-by-scene breakdown of this episode.
Dude, start to finish, you're not wrong. And God, it was just crazy because I usually rewatch, typically more so. It depends on when we record, really. Is typically I try to keep it as fresh as I can.
Absolutely.
But most times I feel like we get a little like, well, it comes out Thursday. I've been watching it at 2 a.m. I've actually joined the gang. I've been doing that now.
You finally
yeah, I finally been swayed.
Turned to the other side.
Yeah, no, but usually I wait until like a couple days after. But this one I rewatched the next morning. I watched it at 2 a.m. I went to sleep. I woke up and I watched it with my breakfast the next day again, and it was like,
bro, I love that. No, because here's the thing. I was just thinking about this a couple days ago. I saw a tweet that was like an homage to Disney Plus for The Mandalorian and WandaVision, and I mean like for real. Like, I've never been more excited about TV in my life than in the last few months, you know?
And it's funny because
I
specifically mentioned this when we watched Mandalorian, was that to our generation, or at least me personally, I've never had appointment TV. I've never had like weekly tune in, watch this. Like my mom would talk about how when she was, in like the early 2000s, late 90s, how she loved Friends. And it's like I would sit and watch Friends, and there'd be a huge cliffhanger at the end of every season, like they always
do.
I would just get to see that the next 10 minutes later. I'd know. I'd get it clarified. She would have to wait 8 months for that shit.
Yeah.
So that is foreign to me. So Mandalorian and WandaVision have totally thrown me for a loop because I have never had anything experience like this ever.
Yeah, I think the closest thing is like some of us had the Saturday morning, like cartoons every once in a while for like maybe like one or two shows. But I would agree with you that it's both this The Mandalorian and then like the knowledge of all the upcoming Star Wars series that are coming up, the Kenobis, all the other TV shows that I know are coming but aren't here yet, and it just makes me want them more.
I think what's awesome, and Colton, you kind of touched on this too, is that Disney Plus is killing it with how they're doing it. I love that they're doing this in terms of, like you said it the other day, I don't remember what the exact number is, but you were like, yo, we're not going to get a stretch without any new Disney Plus television for like a long fucking time. I don't remember what it was, the exact numbers and like what shows, but you said something like that.
The rest of the year, there will be 4 weekends where we aren't getting Star Wars or Marvel television.
Yeah, that's insane. And it's like, that's what's good, is that even though a show may end, it's right back into a new thing. You know what I mean? It's just
absolutely
like that's what's going to keep people coming for Disney Plus, is it's like, oh, we don't have to wait till next, like they might have to wait till next year if they just want to watch WandaVision or just Mandalorian. But the good thing is they're rolling out so much shit. It's like, dude, we're going to be appointment television watching every week almost. Like,
it's amazing.
You know how fast like WandaVision season 2 and Mandalorian are going to feel like they come because we're going to be so busy with all the other stuff?
WandaVision will not be getting a season 2.
Oh, it's not? I didn't know that.
This is a mini series. When we finish it will be the end.
I was going to say, it doesn't quite seem like it's going to be the type of show that has the
well, and I wondered
they can really lay the groundwork for a season 2.
I was wondering if that was true, because like think about Vision, like with what his whole deal is, like that's going to be weird. And then also going into Doctor Strange and everything. So I guess I didn't know that, but like still, point being, Mandalorian's got more legs, like all these shows, you know what I mean? That's nuts.
It's outstanding. I absolutely love it. Are you guys ready to jump into the scene-by-scene breakdown?
Yes.
So we get this 90s opening theme. Fucking perfect. It was exactly right. I love
Straight out of Malcolm in the Middle for me. That's what I take
Straight
from
Oh,
Malcolm.
I loved it.
I love that I feel like everybody who watches like this show can almost think of another show of the age they're trying to replicate, and that comes to mind. Like for me, it was Malcolm in the Middle. Last episode, Colton, you said it, and it was in my head too. Full House. Like
Yeah.
every episode has that one. Like the opening is like you can pinpoint exactly what television they're trying to mimic.
They said what TV show is the most like 90s, early 2000s,
You're right.
late 80s, early 90s,
Yeah.
70s. Like what show really is that era of show? And then let's just recreate the opening.
And it's funny because it goes deeper than the opening for me because I love Malcolm in the Middle and like they literally focus on the twins just talking into the camera the whole the first 5 minutes.
Straight out of Malcolm in the Middle.
Straight up out of it. And then like the vibes I get from Wanda and Vision like kind of flirting around a little bit, but they're like disgusted with each other simultaneously. Like that's straight Bryan Cranston and I don't know her name, but Malcolm like that's
the
straight
mom.
out of it. Yeah, that's a straight out of it. I love that.
Some interesting things about the theme, though. The lyrics here are, "Some days it's all confusion, easy come and easy go. But if it is all illusion, sit back and enjoy the show." So what they're telling us is like, well, if it's all fake, just ignore it. Just watch it. Fuck it.
And it's just like last week. I mean, I mentioned the same thing about the time. They're literally just throwing it at us. Like, it's so obvious. Like, the fourth wall breaks and just, like, it's all right there. Like, they're laying it all out in front.
And then here we see Agnes in a full sweatsuit with Naughty on the ass. And obviously this is a pretty classic little sweatsuit from the early 2000s. This is just pinpoint early 2000s fashion. But Naughty struck me as interesting here. Like, why?
It sucks. Agnes makes me... Sorry,
so
go ahead.
Mad. She makes me so mad. I don't get it. What's her deal?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say because it's like I can't ever get my bearings about me. Is she good? Is she bad? Once I start to lean one way, they throw me for a loop. And it's like, at what point are we going to stop doing that? There's 3 fucking episodes.
See, here's the thing. I don't think she's a witch yet. I think she loses her mind because of this and then becomes Agatha Harkness.
I have left the Agatha train and am 100% agreeing with you, Colton. I don't think she's bad yet. Or even like a witch yet. Because of the scene that we see later on, I don't think she's gone crazy.
Okay.
Also,
no, I think she's about to go crazy though.
Oh,
because of the scene later.
Yes. Also, I really think you were talking about how they keep like making us flip back and forth. I think this like the pants with the Naughty on the ass. I think that's the double-sided, like the double-edged sword of it. Both makes us. It's both like, well, is this supposed to say like, oh, she's a witch? And then also just really fits in with the fact that her character, even since like the first episode, has been like they've mentioned multiple times, it's not her fault. She has an unusually high libido. And it's just like, it's the joke about like the neighbor that's horny for whatever reason. And it just continues to just pile onto it.
Since we're talking about Agnes here, I want to go ahead and bring up what happens with her later. She certainly has something different about her already, though, because she was ready to pull out of there. She was like, she made it all the way to the edge.
Like she came to at some point for some period of time, and it's like, okay, this just came to me off the top. This may be ridiculous, but like I'll spit it out anyway. Do you think Wanda only can do so much? Like we talked about in the group we talked in the group chat about how we wonder if there is on the outer edges if it's more difficult to control. Do you think that she has that's not just a like proximity thing? Do you think that has to do with like she can only focus so much? She can't like if she has to divert her attention to something specific, other people tend to like lapse a little bit more, you think?
I think that you're 100% correct with this. I think that she can't focus on everything. And I think we see exactly why in this episode. Like,
yeah,
I'm going to compare it almost.
What's interesting to me though is that she does have the strength to expand it so fucking much.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting to see the implications of that. If what we're talking about right now is true, I mean, dude, look at how many sword agents she took in that. I mean, I know they're all clowns, which we can talk about that. That's hilarious. But
Super
like,
fucking, so funny.
but that's a lot more people to like, control and, deal with. And just in terms of area, like now, God, man, if that is true of what we're talking about, the implications could be massive.
I almost compare it to, Colton, I'm pretty sure you have, Kyler, I would assume you might also have, but like the Rick and Morty scene where they're in the other, the fake reality created by the one aliens trying to get the recipe for whatever fuel or whatever, where Jerry's just off on his own dicking around and things keep fucking up because they don't have the processing power to support Rick being a psychopath and Jerry also being in the world.
M. Night Shyamalan, that's what the episode title was. I remember it. Penny
Yes.
Bloom did an episode
I would,
the first one ever.
Yeah. I would almost compare it to that, where I feel like she can directly control the people they're interacting with every single day, and then is also she's controlling everyone else and is also, causing them to do certain things, but clearly is not devoting is not telling them everything to do, because of the fact there's the scene with the one lady just stringing up
I see what you're saying. Almost
the one thing continuously over and over again, almost like she's just stuck in a loop.
Yeah, like it's a laziness. I hate to say laziness, but it's like she can't devote enough to make it it's
as I said, she's
busy.
On low CPU mode.
Yeah, like this will keep them contained. Like this is fine. Like they can just be like that, and I don't have to worry as much. Okay.
And what I was also going to say, because there's the characters where it's clear that they know they're in a TV show, quote unquote, which being Herb and Agnes. I almost think maybe she even devotes a little less direct control over them, so that way they can kind of have a little bit of control of their own, so that way they can assist her in keeping it as a TV show.
Is that go ahead.
And what I was going to say, to follow that up with, is maybe that's why Agnes, she has a little bit of her own control, and so she then dips off, thinking she finally comes to her senses and is like, this fucking sucks. I want out of this, and so then she drives away, and that's why she's just sitting there, because maybe Wanda realized she's trying to fucking dip, and is just then switched flip the other control switch on her, and that's why she's just sitting there what the fuck do I do? Oh God.
Okay.
And then spazzes the fuck out. Because she maybe experiences full control for the first time.
Oh, okay. So here's one thing. Colton, you asked me before if I had any what my big theory, overarching theories were.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of go off on this tangent, I guess, while we're here, I personally feel like we could be now, and I don't know. This is again kind of just developed in my head, so it's really unpolished and could be wrong, but still, I feel like if Wanda's expanding it, and we talked about the implications of her not being able to control closer to the edge. Now it's gotten bigger. Now there's more people. What is that going to mean? I almost wonder if this kind of plunges her into madness in a sense, and we do get that conversion. That's I don't want that necessarily. But at least in this sense, I feel like it could be earned. I don't know this. I don't know a specific movie or scene. I guess Bruce Almighty might be the leading example in my head. Where do you remember the part where all the voices come into his head and he kind of is freaking out? Mm-hmm. I feel like it could be similar. She's got all these people and it's just gonna eventually get too much. And what does that build to? Because look at what she had to do to expand the hex. That took a lot of power. That was a big, massive, power surge moment. Imagine that on a grand scale and the chaos and madness, I guess, that could be created through that. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like there's a chance.
I think the main thing I think we're headed towards is Wanda becoming the mother of mutants. I think that's kind of I think that's the point of this show.
It's so funny because think about, I like it. I love that. And I think that's a seamless way to get it in. I think it makes sense. It requires little to no retconning at all. I think I just like that a lot, but I also think about how crazy it was before this show. We knew X-Men and all of them were going to be coming in at what point, but we were like, how are they going to do this? Like, is it just going to be like, surprise, there's mutants now? Like, what were they going to do? And now look at this. Like, if you would have told me this would have been the theory, then like the leading like percentage, like odds for how the mutants get into the MCU, that's a damn good way. And that like comes out of nowhere.
Like, the stuff with Monica is so important. Like the way they're talking about how it's mutated her cells on a molecular level. That's a mutant. She's created mutants.
Right.
So I just realized I love that theory, but I also just realized I hate it now because fucking what's the head guy's name? The dick?
Magneto. Oh no. Wait, Hayward.
I blanked his name for a second. He gets pulled into it. So are we going to see Hayward be a mutant now?
No, he's out. He stayed out.
Hayward
he stayed out of it. Okay, then I still love the theory.
It was just him and like two other people in a Yukon or Escalade or whatever the hell those Hawks drive.
Yeah, no, I just don't want to see Hayward get mutant powers. Because he's a dick. Also, I've seen some stuff that talked about maybe Monica, this didn't actually mutate Monica. Because I've seen some stuff talking about the fact that, a theory that I've seen was that, Sword was never, wasn't created for Vision or to monitor Captain Marvel, but that maybe Monica's exposure to Captain Marvel or to someone else gave her powers, and so Monica's mom created Sword to monitor her and to help her
foster that,
to foster it,
mold it, kind of. Yeah, okay.
It's that way she could be the one in charge of the government agency that would be the one controlling her, just in case something happened. And that's why Monica, that theory is also a potential reason why there was the fallout between Monica and Monica's mom, and no, not Hayward, and Captain Marvel.
Oh.
Because if Captain Marvel is the reason that Monica has powers, there's the chance that maybe Monica's powers gave Monica's mom cancer. And so there's a fallout then because of the fact that Monica now hates Captain Marvel because she sees herself and Captain Marvel as the reason that her mom got cancer and was on her, was maybe dying.
That's such because that whole storyline deserves a movie if that's the case.
Yeah. She seems way too okay, and this is I saw something about this, and this is the reason why I actually kind of well, maybe this is the case because she seemed way too okay with your fucking cells are mutating. Our scans showed nothing. She seemed way too okay with that for that to be something that just happened, and so I saw that and I was like, fuck, maybe this is something that she already knew was happening. And that's why she's like, I don't give a fuck. What's the worst that could happen? What's she going to do? Mutate me anymore? Sense.
You have just blown my fucking mind. Holy shit.
I take full credit for this even though I found it online.
I fucking love that. And to go, I know I jumped in and said something about Hayward when you were talking about Monica's mom and Captain Marvel, but I still think that puts credence to Hayward being as corrupt and kind of why he's glad that he's at the head of Sword and why he's trying to do the things he's doing is maybe he wants to, if he's like I said, he's tracking Vision and not Wanda, which to me sets off a lot of red flags for him. Could he be possibly trying to kind of have this blanketed accumulation of super powered weapon individuals, you know what I mean? Is he what? Damn, man,
he's on to some shit.
I love that theory. That's a really good theory, and I'm with Colton. That's a lot to throw out, and it could use a lot more developing on screen because damn, that would be sick. But still.
Well, that could even, if that was the case, it could even then lead to a real reason to have an eventual movie for Monica. It would explain everything
or
that
went down before. Or a TV show.
Or that too.
Fucking Photon. Just straight up. Boom. Bingo.
Well, now that we're 24 minutes into this episode, let's get to the first scene.
No, we talked about the title scene. We're good. We talked about the intro. We're solid.
Yeah, we talked about the
did.
naughty.
It led us down a road. But let's start with this Malcolm in the Middle ass opening with Billy and Tommy talking to the camera, and this was interesting to me because it really was just straight out of Malcolm in the Middle, and I like that Billy and Tommy have a brief discussion here where Tommy nags Billy for being scared that Pietro is secretly a vampire, and I think given the nature of everyone's abilities later revealed that if we should trust anyone's negative inclination towards anyone, it's Billy. I'm not going to lie. I feel like we've seen that Pietro's a little off, right?
Yeah.
Pietro is Morpheus, confirmed. Cut it.
Yeah.
Morpheus? You mean Mephisto?
No, I'm talking about the vampire character, the one with Jared Leto, the movie that we're getting from Sony.
Oh, okay.
The Spider-Man villain. Isn't that? I did say that right.
Morpheus.
I did get it right.
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just like a little nod to the fact that he's not what he seems a little bit.
Yeah.
There was also that I've been listening more to that line where he shows up where he says, "Long lost bro get to squeeze his sister to death or what?"
Like it's a little too obvious. Like
I saw.
Here's the thing. That is a line that's said in that moment. Like, of course, no one's gonna sit there and have any second thoughts. But upon rewatch and as things develop, like I could totally see at the end of the season that being like a total smack in the face, like you dumb fucks. It was literally sitting right there. Like they said it. Yeah. He literally gave his intentions right there.
Well, there is the idea. I saw a theory online that Evan Peters here isn't actually playing Quicksilver, but is actually playing Mephisto or Nightmare, and is making himself look like Pietro to kind of fool her. And because like the shit that they kind of say as like why do you look different? Well, I just do. That's not good enough, and it's blatantly not good enough.
So I know we're not quite there in the show yet in terms of where we're at scene-wise, but my next note is, are these Wanda and Pietro flashbacks? Are they fabricated or what? I feel like if Pietro remembers these, that could be saying Nightmare makes total sense because what? His power is what? Like controlling and manipulating the reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like it's totally within the realm of possibility that he could like go back, like not go back, but like, make these memories make sense in his head, like have those stored there, you know what I mean? Like manipulate it into whatever to know and like be able to confirm to Wanda, like, oh, you're testing me. I know this. Like, I remember it. Wink, wink. Like, or Mephisto. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like either one of those are out of the possibility that they could do that. You know what I mean?
That's fair. That's fair. And another part of the theory that's interesting to me is that Mephisto could be siphoning magic from Wanda. If he is the character. Snacking on her magic, if you will.
Snacking.
I'm trying to snack on her magic. She fine ass.
Yeah.
She's looking scrum diddly umptious this episode. That was also in my notes.
No tout.
That was also in my notes. Had to get that out.
But if it is like Mephisto siphoning her magic, it's like squeezing her to death, of her magic, costing her magic, maybe she had the ability to control everybody, but ever since Pietro showed up, it's taken away from her power.
Yeah, maybe.
So they sit still in the same spot, slowly turning to skeletons.
Which Mephisto would love, which makes total fuck.
I was gonna say though, Colton, you may have noticed my name, and I'm asking you because I know you're interested in these things. Have you seen the Funko Pop stuff about Pietro?
Yeah.
About how everyone else has like, oh, Wanda Halloween, Vision Halloween, and then it's just like their names, but then for him, his name is just Pietro Maximoff, all in quotations, for whatever reason. And I think they're trying to just throw in our face and just be like, this isn't him.
Dude, this is going to be like when Endgame was going to come out and they had the toys listed. Like there was the toys that hadn't come out yet, but they were like the snippets and people were seeing that Professor Hulk was in the toys. So everybody was like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
shit, we're going to get Professor Hulk. And then we did. That would be crazy. That like Funko Pops, the cross section of how we find out shit is fucking Funko Pops.
No, but I think collectively after watching this episode, everyone went, okay, Pietro's not really Pietro, right? Like, he was just too fishy.
Yeah.
And this sounds like me just like not grasping necessarily. This makes sense, but like I feel like it's kind of like paranoid, I guess, to think. But when the fact that he did say that line, like, "Oh, you're testing me," like, well, that's exactly what someone who knew she was testing would say. Like, that's exactly, you know what I mean? Like, that's
Someone who
exactly
was
what a shady motherfucker would say.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
He goes,
like,
you're testing me.
I don't know, man. Yeah, it's like, oh wow, you would say that, wouldn't you?
Also, kind of also lends credence to the idea that it's like a Mephisto or Nightmare character trying to like fuck with her magic and shit. Is his question of, so where were you hiding them? Like about the kids? Like trying to like dig deeper and find out more about how she's doing all this.
Okay, I know I said this at one point, or somebody did, but that there's a chance that like either Mephisto or Nightmare, somebody is trying to play like devil's advocate to Wanda. Like, let's see if we can get her to blow up. Like, they want her as almost a pawn, kind of. Like, they want her under their control, or at least on like a villainous side of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like asking that question, knowing that's going to throw off her sense of like, oh, this is must be beautiful, blah, 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 you know, like that, like, so where were the kids, Wanda? Like, I feel like that could be like a, hey, let me plunge your ass into darkness right quick. Let's see what we can fuck around with. Like, you know what I mean?
I dig it. Let's talk more about that when we get there later. Because that's going to be a whole conversation. That whole scene is astounding. But you know, after Pietro screams at the kids and he runs around the living room taunting them a little bit, getting in their face every once in a while to act like he's stabbing them, which I don't know, seems a little ominous out of context. But Wanda comes down the stairs in her classic comic suit, you know, and it's a great costume. Looks astounding. We've seen this shot so many times through the trailer. It was like the main shot of Wanda Maximoff you got before the show started. And here's the first of many times in this episode that Pietro is just weirdly fucking rude, calling her costume lame. But he quickly after he recalls a memory of a Halloween back in Sokovia. And what's important to me here is that Wanda goes, I don't remember it exactly like that. Meaning, I don't think she remembered that shit at all. And then he was just like, remember this. And she was like, okay.
Yeah, like he's almost trying. That's also weird because that's unprompted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he was just like remember this.
Like jumping into that, like, who are you trying to prove something to, my guy? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that is kind of weird. I don't know. Now I feel like I'm just on edge with anything Pietro. Like, oh, that's...
Well, and you have a good reason to be.
Yeah, but like it sucks.
He's a sus
like
character.
It's anything
but,
he does now. Like now he's gonna shotgun a soda in like 30 seconds, and I'm gonna be like, wait a minute, that's what the devil would do.
No human could do that.
Billy speaks to the camera again here and says that Mom hasn't been the same since Pietro got here. Which, I mean, wink at the camera directly, actually.
Yeah, you did say Billy. We like Billy if there's good reason to... Yeah, nope, okay.
He thinks that it's because she hadn't seen him in a long time and that he is a man-child. And Vision makes his way down the stairs and Pietro again makes fun of the costume. Let me guess. Traffic light. Half-shut corn. A booger. And Vision's finally like, yeah, fuck it. Fuck it. Yeah, get out of my face, kid. And Wanda's still in perfect character. Thanks, Vision, for humoring her and wearing the silly getup. And Vision isn't here for it. He's like, well, it was the only thing in my fucking closet this morning, Wanda, so fuck you. And you know, he re-enters his character a little bit, and he's like,
"Yeah, I love that they get like really contentious for a second, and then immediately he just goes like right back to character."
And I loved it because it was a really back and forth scene the whole time. Like they both kept kind of going,
"Fuck you, fuck you."
Yeah, but then they get all
but,
like flirty and shit, and it's kind of like,
Mhm.
what?
It's
I
kind
think
of
it's because Vision.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, well,
I
makes
think it's
sense.
because Vision's really. I think Vision's really trying to get on her good side so he can go do what he wants later.
Yeah, okay. Like, see, I love that because now it's like, if that's the case, like, man, Vision's really stumped. Like, he's getting that presence of mind, which is not good. We'll talk
I
about it
think he's
later. We'll
already
talk
there.
about it when we get there. Right, but there's something
But
else I want to go off on, but I'll talk about it later.
gotcha. But he re-enters character and says, "I'm just kidding, darling. I knew you always had a thing for Mexican wrestlers." And I like how they had like the little cover-ups for their old costumes as a Mexican wrestler and a Sokovian fortune teller, even though those are just the classic comic costumes, which I thought was funny. And I like this little exchange here where she's like, "Me gusta mucho," and he's like, "Chile con carne." Like, that's disgusting. So here Wanda and Vision watch on as Pietro entertains Billy and Tommy with a little bit of video games and some shotgun and some soda. And I thought that was funny because here Wanda's like, he's full of surprises, you know. Wink,
I
wink at the
just hate
camera.
it.
He's full of surprises.
I really hate if he's. I like. It makes so much sense for him to be bad, and now I can't unsee it. But God, he's so fun. I really wished he
And
wouldn't be. I really wish
I
he
don't
wouldn't.
want him to be so bad.
I really
Yeah.
wished he wouldn't be because he's so fun.
I
Like,
really wish it was
uncle.
just the
That's
multiverse thing.
awesome. He's the fun uncle. That's awesome. Why does it have to be the devil?
Yeah.
I wish it was just the multiverse thing. I really do. Just like from a pure enjoyment of a show, not like critically enjoying it. But
that character is so fun traditionally. It's like you get him in this universe, and it's like, of course you're going to be excited. And wouldn't it make total sense for them to just rip our fucking hearts out with him? Totally. Now
it's
I can't
just perfect
unsee it.
because
now
how are they going to explain that? How are they going to explain that? They weren't. They weren't going to be able to. Not adequately. You feel me? But Vision here decides it's time to dip, not having told Wanda his plans to participate on the Neighborhood Watch. And she says, "No, but you're not supposed to." And Vision says, "What? Like the fuck did you have planned for me? What's that? What's that? You got shit to say, Wanda? You got some controlling shit to say? Because I ain't gonna have it. Not today."
I did like that standing his ground type thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh
I did
man,
too.
he's really starting to kind of like I don't know. I think the end of last episode really does a lot to say like he's freaked out, like he's spooked as fuck, and he is done.
He doesn't like it.
He's done with the fucking shitty like answers like that don't really give him like clarity. He wants to find his shit out on his own. Like he's done.
He's done with the fuckery.
Yeah, no, the fuck shit's got to go.
The fuck shit does have to go. But Wanda continues saying that he just didn't tell her, and he's like, "Well, I'm telling you now, okay? Like this should be good enough." And Billy looks back to the camera, saying that Mom and Dad have been not fighting, just like different. And again, this is ever since Pietro showed up, or not ever since Pietro showed up, right before Pietro showed up, really. But
it is sad though, like to get it from the kids' perspective, it's kind of sad. You know what I mean? Like, because they've been spawned into this, like, you know, like kind of abruptly. Like, it's kind of sad that, like, especially when you know about what Vision may or may not, you know, what he is blurry. And it's like to think like these kids, who knows what that father figure is going to look at, and it's going to be even more shitty if Evan Peters Quicksilver isn't Quicksilver and he's not Fun Uncle, he's Devil Uncle. That's going to be even more shit. Like, it's like, man, you feel bad. Like,
I think we're headed in a direction. I think we're headed in a direction where like one of these kids grows up good and the other grows up evil. Like,
yeah.
Oh, it
but
makes
also
so
this
much
like
sense.
The mom and dad. Yeah, the mom and dad fighting though is also very like this. Like, oh, they're not the same. As very much Malcolm in the Middle too, though.
Oh yeah, I think you don't get that at all in sitcoms before that, like before 2000s, like late
Yeah.
90s, 2000s. You don't see that mom and dad like test
Mhm.
these shit. But then like you look at
Yeah.
shows like Roseanne, all those like any show from that family, like in a family environment in that period, like that was common. Like that was not that way in the
Yeah.
80s. Like that going back, it was all picture perfect happy family. You know what I mean? Like you
Mhm.
don't get that until this. That makes total sense. But man,
100%.
okay. But you did okay. Who said something about Colton? You said one good, one bad.
Colton.
Yes.
Homie, it doesn't make complete and utter sense. Well, to me, it seems Billy. I don't feel like you can make a dude with super speed be the villain. I feel like Billy is more powerful, probably, and
Oh,
ultimately has.
I think Billy's too innocent.
Really? See, I feel like his
but
powers bode more well.
maybe that makes him more vulnerable to it. Like,
I feel
See,
like that.
but okay,
I
so
feel like
Tommy's
that.
Tommy's
No, go
super
ahead.
speed, right?
yeah,
See, I was almost gonna say I feel like Tommy's gonna be the villain, not just because of the fact I feel like, or like, is good if one of them's good, one of them's bad. Because if it does end up that Evan Peters ends up being a villain, with how much Tommy's like, oh, I fucking love, he's the cool uncle. I'm the cool, I'm the cool sibling.
That would be an easy
That,
swing.
yeah, that I feel like he's like, if Pietro goes, is like, oh, I'm actually, this evil character, that Tommy would be like, well, yeah, you're kind of a dick, but you're also pretty cool.
See, here's what
I want
I
to be
think.
cool with you.
So big theory, but I feel like if one of them is good, one of them is bad, that doesn't get panned out in the next 3 episodes. I feel like that's too much.
oh no,
I guess they all.
that's a future storyline.
Yeah. So
Or-
if that's the case, to me it makes total sense to build it up until we get Young Avengers type thing. If we would, which that is built. I mean, if you can't sit here and tell me that that's not at least a possibility, given what the future of Marvel television is going to be right now, and like just other stories we have
Absolutely.
already. Would it not make sense to have that be Young Avengers and then the villain in the first Young Avengers or whatever would be the other brother? I mean, I know we're talking about total, like, way beyond, really long, far time away, all that, but, like, god damn, does that not just fit picture perfect right now?
Well, a couple things.
perfect
One,
series.
it wouldn't have to be that far away since they can literally age themselves.
Right.
Also, I just thought about this because we're talking about potentially one's good, one's bad, and you said it couldn't be something that could be played out in the next couple episodes. What if it was something that gets played out in the next couple episodes, in that they're both end up good and they have to team up to stop Wanda, or potentially one of them, Tommy is like, you know what, I love my mother, I'm gonna help her, and Billy's like, the fuck are you talking about?
Oh.
And so it ends up being Magic Wanda versus Magic Billy going to town.
Civil War.
Yeah, with Vision helping Billy out and Tommy flying around, or potentially it being the other way, in that Tommy has to go against his mom and brother because Billy's like, no, I love my mother, because he's so innocent he doesn't realize that what she's doing is wrong, and he potentially supports her, and then we have two magic people trying to, and potentially maybe that's how she can control more people, is she uses his powers to control more people, since he has the same powers as her.
The aging thing makes that so possible, and I like that, but god, you can't. To me, it's just from a fairness, I guess, standpoint, you can't have that, because if you make Quicksilver good, then maybe, but if Quicksilver is some bigger power being, God, you can't have those three, like Wanda and then Nightmare / Mephisto and one of the super children. Like, dude, holy shit.
I mean, but you could, because that could then be the big bad for like the next couple Marvel movies.
Man, that is.
Or potentially this whole family minus Vision is the big bad for the next couple of Marvel movies, in that you have Wanda, Tommy, like being Quicksilver, Nightmare Quicksilver, and then Billy helping Wanda out since she share powers.
What if this Quicksilver is just a dick? Like it is him, and he's just an asshole. Like,
also that too. What if he's just a dick?
Man, Holy shit, that's drastic, but God, if I don't like it. Like,
Yeah, like that could be the
shit.
next couple episodes, is they lead the two children into either one of them picks the dad side or they both pick mom, and then Vision has to use the rest of the Marvel, like the next couple Marvel movies, Vision has to fight to get his family back from either potentially
Holy
Quicksilver,
shit.
Evan Peters, who is just kind of a dick, or Evan Peters, Quicksilver, who's actually Nightmare.
Yo, it'd be mad interesting if the entire Phase 4 was based around Wanda and Vision. Like, if that was like...
It'd be super interesting.
And okay, here's the thing. Think about what we've seen in X-Men in the past, like with what like Magneto represents. Tell me that doesn't, like, that is that in the Marvel, like in Marvel form, right?
Yeah, that's Wanda.
I mean, that like same kind of story, like Wanda's gonna create all these mutants, and then like Wanda could be the Magneto type, like going bad.
Mhm.
Oh man, if that doesn't just fit like a glove, shit.
I love
God
it. I love
damn,
it. But
we have really gone all over the place.
Did we just combine to have a Joseph Big Brain moment without Joseph?
It took the power of three
shit.
minds, but
Yeah,
we did it.
That was
But
absurd.
as Billy's talking about how his mom and dad have not been fighting, but they've just been different, in the background, as he speaks, Pietro is really side-eyeing him, like really looking at him, like he needs to hear what he says.
see, I don't take that as much as I love the idea that Pietro's not actually Pietro. I don't take that as him being like, all right, what's he gonna say? How can I turn this to my advantage? I take that as being like almost like the concerned uncle of, like, he clearly sees him being like, mom and dad have been fighting recently and it kind of sucks. And he's like, well, what can I do to fix that? And that's why he quickly is like, well, I can be their father figure for the night.
Yeah. And that's also the distinct other possibility, is that it was just another way for him to show the good side, potentially.
Yeah.
But here Vision tells the children to have a spooky time tonight and kisses Wanda on the forehead, telling her to, quote, be good. I was like,
she didn't do a very good job at that.
But also, like, how good can it get? She's already mind controlling several thousand people. Like,
yeah, but he doesn't know that. For sure.
Does he think it's just normal?
Yeah.
Like,
I want to know.
Listen.
Like,
I just realized
this whole thing is just like, God, you took control of Norm. I'll fucking kill you. Like,
God damn it! I just realized it's Wednesday. Fuck! I thought this episode was tonight. Damn it!
Oh no!
Fuck you, snowy weather. You ruined my concepts of time. Fucking damn it!
But here, Vision, he jumps into a nice little pose and says, quote, I smell crime, looking at Wanda. And I thought that was a nice little, fun little nod to where this eventually heads, what he finds. He's like, I smell crime, like something bad's going on. But Pietro runs up on Wanda as she shuts the door behind Vision and scares the shit out of her. Another little Pietro asshole moment. And on his arm here, we see he has an MOM tattoo. Is that Multiverse of Madness? Is it Mother of Mutants? Is it just Mom?
Yeah, see, as much as I would love for it to be like some hidden thing, I also really love that it's just Evan Peters just has a mom tattoo. And,
like in real
they
life.
just decided to leave it because he also, yes, I love the idea that Evan Peters in real life just has a mom tattoo because he looks like the dude that would just have a mom tattoo.
Okay, I will admit to you that he does seem the type. Like, I don't know what that type is. I don't know if I would pick one out in public other than Evan Peters, but like that like.
But it is him.
Yeah, but it is him. Or also the idea that they were just like, all right, what do we want Evan Peters Quicksilver to look like? What costume designs do we want him to have? And they're like, let's give him a fucking mom tattoo. And they said, yes,
that's exactly
mom
right.
tattoo. Love it.
See, that's the thing though, is that everything in these, I have to take everything as so intentional. Like, I have to. There's no way they just were like, fuck it, Mom. If they did throw it on there, it's because they were either trying to misdirect us or it does mean something.
Yes, but I also, as much as I agree, and it's almost certainly either something or something to throw us off, I love the idea too much that it's either Evan Peters just has a mom tattoo or that they just said, fuck it, give him a mom tattoo. That'll be funny. I love that idea too much for me not to accept that as truth.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that idea too. But here, Pietro asked Wanda where they keep the water balloons. Because where else would they put all the shaving cream? And he says it was Billy's idea, and he points to Tommy. And Tommy yells, "I'm Tommy!" And he yells back, "Don't you forget it!"
I love that. He's so funny. I want him to be the good person. Why does he have to probably be bad? I hate it.
It's lines like that that's the reason that I love the mom tattoo so much. Of the, what are we supposed to do with all the shaving cream?
Dude, I don't even know what that idea. Did I miss out on a key moment in my childhood? Like, what is the cross section of shaving cream and water balloons? What is that? Now I gotta know.
Just be like water balloons. I think it would just be like a water balloon, except instead of water, it's just filled with shaving cream.
Dude, but
I don't quite understand how that works.
That wouldn't have the weight to throw it good, and it wouldn't bust. Like, can we talk about the physics of this? Because that doesn't make sense.
Maybe because maybe
it's just water balloons covered.
Maybe because he has
maybe he's just running up behind people.
Like when he just
maybe he's just running up behind people.
What? And which one is it? Is it
just like smacking him in the face with it?
Is it X-Men when he does it?
I
when
just watched it the other night. Days of Future Past.
I watched the clip. I didn't watch the movies, but I watched both clips of Quicksilver and X-Men because it was on my recommended, and I was like, oh, I gotta watch those. So I watched this scene from Apocalypse and Future Past.
Mm-hmm.
Chef's kiss.
Me and Emily watched Days of Future Past and Apocalypse last week. It was pretty. After we watched this, I was like, I need to see more Evan Peters as Quicksilver, like ASAP. Because it's just a great character in the X-Men movies.
Days of Future Past is the one where he goes back and breaks Magneto out of the Pentagon or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
It's amazing. But don't you forget it. And but Wanda tries to say he shouldn't take them because he doesn't even have a costume. But that's nothing that a guy with super speed can't fix fast. And he takes Tommy by the hand and they rush out and back with the classic smooth looking, sweet looking Quicksilver costume. And this was, for the record, actually how this character's hair looked in the comics. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Could you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, I could hear you. My mic just went out for a second, so
okay. Yeah,
I wasn't sure.
My shit said that my volume was not working, so I was not sure.
Nope, you're good. I could hear you.
Okay.
Sorry, I had it muted because I was kind of breathing heavy. Sorry.
Whenever you say your volume, do you mean like it was just showing it at 0?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, mine did the same thing, and I was like, I tapped my mic and nothing went up, and I was like, fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you guys could hear me.
I don't want to say something and interrupt him because I can hear him. Yeah, no, I could hear you the whole time.
All right, cool. But, slick looking suit. Just slick looking suit. And the hair actually was like that in the comic books. It isn't another Devil reference, in case anyone thought that it could be, but I don't think it is. And Wanda reminds them that before they leave that this is a respectable family, so be nice or else she'll turn them to a pickled herring.
Clearly that threat didn't work.
Not one bit.
Also, like the costume, I saw something about it like a day or two ago saying like that the costume was, it clearly proves that he must be some different character because it was so disrespectful to the, to Pietro's like costume like in the other like in Age of Ultron.
Bro, my man was wearing Adidas. My man was wearing Adidas in Age of Ultron.
And
you're gonna tell me that shit's like fucking. That's paying homage. Fuck no. That's called.
That's what they said. It was like
sponsorships is what it's called. It's called product placement. Miss me with that bullshit.
I saw that and I was like, the fuck are you talking about? I loved this costume. It's so funny.
No, and what's
Like,
great is that
it's so 90s over the top, like stupid looking
jorts with the white belt, just
Mm-hmm.
perfect. Pulled the whole look together. I absolutely loved it.
Also, once again, Evan Peters, exactly what I don't know why. I don't know how they managed to make Evan Peters look exactly how I would expect him to look, but they have done it at every single step of the show. With the mom tattoo, with this.
I think that's just. Sorry, go ahead. You go.
I was gonna say about like how like an American Horror Story, even like with his characters, he's just that actor that like you throw him in any look and he almost guaranteed like looks like he's supposed to be that person. It's so strange.
I think it's just he's one of those guys that like he seems to always get really like he gets casted into roles that seem to do so well for him, like fit him well. Like I feel like that's just on point casting. Like he knows what roles he's gonna crush and like what roles he would fit well into, and then like studios hit it on the nose too.
Yeah.
Like I just think that's just a product of that.
Maybe the product of that is because maybe he just is this character in real life.
Yeah.
And so he just walks in and he's like, how's it going? And they're like, yes, perfect. You're hired.
Now here, like, don't take this as like, I know this is going to sound very like, hot takey or like it's very, almost disrespectful in a sense, but it's, I know I'm not going to put it on that level, but like in a sense, like similar, like RDJ is Tony Stark. Like that is like RDJ on camera is the same off and on. Like that is his character. Like you can see it in the same person
off camera.
And honestly, I feel like that's also partially like I think the longer he played Tony Stark, the more that he started to identify with that. But like that's a whole different thing. Yeah. But I feel like it's similar in that sense where it's like that. It's easy. Yeah. He turns the camera on and not much changes. Like I think Evan Peters is very similar.
No,
in that way.
He acts like himself. Only instead of being named Evan Peters, he's named Pietro.
Right.
He walked in.
Which
he walked
also
into Marvel Studios.
Okay, you're back. We can see you. Colton?
Hi.
Oh, okay. That wasn't very nice.
You held that pause.
Yeah, I know. I could tell because I saw like a slight movement.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, wait a minute.
I almost just feel like I've decided instead of them like giving him the mom tattoo and saying this is your character and it fitting perfectly, I actually think they just said, all right, we want you to decide what Quicksilver looks like, and he just decided, all right, this is how I'm gonna dress today, and they were like, you know what, it fucking works. And he said, hey, give me a mom tattoo. I think that'd be funny. They said, all right.
I feel like he walked into Marvel Studios, saw Kevin Feige, and was like, "What's up, Kenny?" He's like, "I'm Kevin." And he's like, "And don't you forget it." And then
he said, "You're hired."
Yeah, Kevin said, "That is the most beautiful, disrespectful thing anyone has ever said to me. You're fucking hired. Like, get your ass in there right now. Studio 3B, go fucking early."
But back outside the Hex, Hayward looks to get a full workup of tests done on the drone that they sent in, and Wanda promptly sent back out. And Monica voices her critiques of Hayward's handling of the situation. And then Darcy chimes in to talk some shit, which I just absolutely love. She's like,
dude, she does not give a single fuck. She is not there. Like she knows she's there working for these people, but at the same time, she's like, I ain't with you guys. Like, I do my own shit. Like, fuck y'all.
What's great is she's like, I'm not a Fed.
That's what I was about to say.
And
I was about to say that, Colton.
I don't blame her for having all of this disdain for this agency, because as soon as she walked in, there was just disrespect. Absolutely. And she's the one that fucking busted this shit open in the first place. Put some damn respect on her name. Yeah. Put some respect on her name. Like, she's like
the line from Hayward of, who do you work for? What are you doing here? And I was like, all right, listen, asshole. She's the only reason why you even know what's going on.
Dude, literally my notes say, oh, fuck you, prick. God, I hate him. I fucking hate him. I can't stand him. He makes my blood boil every time he's on screen. I want to buy he's Mephisto just because I feel like the devil would make me feel that way. Like, that's all I want to believe. Like, fuck that guy so hard. I hate him so much. I have had few characters as this, like, unlikable as him.
I loved Darcy's line to him here where she was like, hey, there he is, the guy who almost got murdered by his own murder squad.
Yeah. Also, kind of thinking back on our the fact that we were talking about how like, oh, like Robert Downey Jr. works because that's just like he is like Iron Man is just Robert Downey Jr. I feel like the reason all of these Marvel characters work so well is because I feel like they almost just took an actor and said, we want this actor to play this character, and then we will build this character around this actor.
Okay. Yeah.
And so maybe for Hayward, they just said, you know what? This guy just looks like a fucking Fed.
He comes in the
We're just
interview.
gonna make him a fucking Fed.
Fair.
He comes in the interview and is just a total fucking asshole, and they're like, makes sense. Get him out of my office. Just get him in the show though. Get him out of here.
But Hayward's like, who do you work for? And Monica's like, she's with me. And Hayward, again, belittling the fuck out of them, goes, which one of you is the sassy best friend? And I was like, fuck this guy to the fucking
as much as I fucking hate him, I did really like that line though. I got a kick out of that line of the which one of you is the sassy best friend, because they're both the sassy best friend.
But I love that Jimmy Woo was having none of that shit.
No, Jimmy Woo is that fucking dude, bro. The best thing that came out of this is getting more Jimmy Woo and all of the memes I've seen about Jimmy Woo.
Yes.
The fact that Jimmy Woo and Pop Smoke have intertwined on my TikTok, beautiful.
Oh, yes.
Couldn't have drawn it up better.
Woo. She wanna fuck with the Woo, and I wanna build on that a little bit because I think I ship Monica Rambeau and Jimmy Woo.
I think
I'm not gonna cap.
I'm feeling some real sexual tension between us.
No, Jimmy Woo, I like that because Jimmy Woo Jimmy Woo would be the best like beta male for that relationship, but it would be like just barely beta. But he would still shine. Like he would still be alpha in moments, but like just no, like Monica is like that. Like she is the pants. Then that's fine. That's fine. If I'm Jimmy Woo, I'm like, fuck yeah, you fucking run this shit. That is totally okay with me.
I just think, especially if we're going to start getting this sword, like if Jimmy Woo is going to be a sword type agent, and then like Monica's already working, like it's a storyline they could pursue, and I like seeing them on screen together, and I think they have this weird kinship that kind of works well, and I don't know.
Also, any opportunity to expand the Jimmy Woo universe, I am 100% down for.
Oh, 100%.
What's funny is like Jimmy Woo is so funny because he's like such a simpy kind of guy. Like I say that not in a sense of like romantic. He just seems very like I don't know. He's just kind of a softie in a sense to me. Like you know what I mean? Like even in Ant-Man, you kind of get that. But dude, if he doesn't have his combat skills on point, that man fucks. Yo, that man fucks.
No, wait, Jimmy Woo is Batman.
No, he is like that, bro. He is like that. And that's what's funny is like he'll go from like fucking close-up magic and like simping or being just like a soft guy in general to like kicking the fuck out of your ass. And if that isn't who I strive to be as a person, well, god damn it, I don't know who it is. But I hope my girlfriend hears that.
I love the line he drops here. He says, there is no time to diminish your colleagues when you're about to start a war that you can't win. And I was like, fuck yeah. I like that these three were really like, we're holding it down. Like, we know what's right here, not this fucking guy.
Yeah, well, there's only so much they can do. It's like, listen, if you're going to have us here and want us to do things, then we're the ones that are like positively contributing. Like, you guys take what we do and then fucking ruin it.
But Monica and Hayward really go at it here, just back and forth, and Hayward wants to just kill her, it feels like. Monica says that they literally have no idea what will happen if they kill Wanda. She's like, no, we cannot do that. If we kill her, everybody in there could die. Shit, everybody out here could die. We have no idea the implications of our actions.
See, and tell me that wouldn't make total sense why Hayward would track Vision then. Because he probably feels like Joseph has been saying for weeks that Wanda's too far gone. I disagree, but wouldn't it make total sense if Hayward thought she was and he knows that she's too powerful? Get rid of her. Who gives a fuck about the people? They're too far gone too. Get rid of everybody but extract Vision. Get Vision out or control Vision.
He's trying to control Vision to turn him against Wanda.
Yeah, well, and I was going to say potentially because that's probably the only one of the few things left that could get her to come back to the light or whatever you want to say. It would be a Vision really just putting the hammer down and being like, "All right, we're done with this shit," or maybe one of her kids doing
But
that.
I think Haywood's
And-
too, and maybe it's just my hatred for him. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh no,
my bad.
I'm saying like my idea is maybe that was like what he started with was maybe if we can get to Vision and try and like convince him to turn on her, that might be the way to get her to stop this. But also, no, he's a dick. He's evil. No matter how good he actually is, like his intentions might be, he's a dick and he's evil, and I hate him.
Here's what. Okay, I'm gonna.
I want to see him turn into a clown.
While we're on the subject of Haywood, I just want to jump to this. I don't know if this will happen, and I'm still not. I don't really feel that confident that Haywood is like one of the big characters we talked about, like a Nightmare, like a Mephisto. I mean, it's possible, but it's not my leading. Like, that's not what I most put stock into. But goddamn, wouldn't it be sick?
That's why you didn't trust him.
No, I know, but wouldn't it be fucking sick as shit if we get a reveal where like Wanda expands the hex again, Haywood gets taken in, and boom, it's Mephisto, like just some fucking like he looked like it's like that guy.
That would be.
Wouldn't that be fucking nuts?
That would be cool.
No, that'd be
like to see that change happen. Like he crosses over, and it's like he's crossing over, and it's like, oh, what's he gonna look like? Is he gonna be a clown? And then it's boom, the fucking Mephisto or Nightmare. That would be tight as fuck.
That would be wild. That would be fucking wild. But Monica's retort to Hayward's bullshit is that, you know, if Wanda is our problem, then she's the only one that can be the solution. Because nobody's fucking stopping Wanda. Let's be real.
No. I don't know how you could think that. I don't, especially in a world where you know that she was gonna mop Thanos. Like, I don't understand how that doesn't make everyone fear of the idea of like getting her on a bad side.
Yeah, she was about to pop Thanos like a goddamn balloon.
That man was done for. Like, she's like that. Don't fuck with her. Don't fuck with her.
Do not fuck with her. But Hayward says that he knows that Monica has a soft spot for the superpowers, and he said that shit like really like disdainfully, like he hates people with superpowers.
Yeah, no, I picked up on that too. I would agree
in
with
which,
you
Colton,
on that.
I kind of liked the way you talked about who from. It's also, I think, Future Past. The villain in that movie, isn't that who you said he could be playing that kind of role?
Yeah, the William Stryker.
Yeah, I kind of dig that. Like, I could see that, like, kind of in a way, you know. I don't know.
Like I think the only use he could see in the superpower people is weaponizing them. He doesn't see another outlet there, but he also knows that they have to be controlled some way.
Right.
But you know, he says he knows about her history with Carol Danvers, and he says that those 5 years that the people were gone, she couldn't know what it was like. And Monica calls him on his bullshit, saying, you know, you can't use the last 5 years as an excuse to be a fucking coward, guy. And Hayward,
I love that.
I did too. And Hayward doesn't take it well because he takes it just like, fuck you, guy. Why'd you even bring this up? He says, good thing you weren't here when your mom died. And then he lets that shit linger in the air for a second. Yeah. Pauses.
He's the dude that makes everything personal.
For this job.
Yeah, he's the dude that makes everything personal. Like, constructive criticism to, let's make it personal. That's the worst fucking guy in a group. Nobody likes to be around that fucking guy.
Nobody.
I mean, constructive criticism of, hey, maybe don't, you know, start a war you can't win too. It's a good thing you weren't around whenever your mom died, bitch.
Like, dude, what does that have to do with anything?
It's a good thing we all thought you were dead when your mom died.
Yeah, it's like, dude,
hey, you know who was at your mom's deathbed whenever she was dying? Me. You know who wasn't? You. Fuck you.
Dude, if I'm somebody else in the room, I'm gonna look at him like, yo, man, like, come on, have some boundaries.
Maybe a step too far.
Like,
I wonder how many sword agents were just like, oh shit, goddamn, that's irrational. That's just rude.
It's just rude.
But he kicks all three of them off the site. Jimmy, Darcy, and Monica, and as they're being escorted, Wu says that Hayward is way overstepping his provisional authority, and Monica says he was looking for a reason to sideline him, that he is up to something. So Monica's sussing this man out. She knows there's something deeper going on here that's not just what's Wanda, you know?
Yeah, and I just really think it's like, I don't know. I guess I hate it because I feel like he's been crooked from the get-go, and like I felt that. But I hate that him talking to Monica at the beginning was super like chummy. You know what I mean?
Me too.
Like, dude, but even then it's chummy with her, but he still doesn't put her on otherworldly assignments. So it's like,
But that was an
like,
assignment from her mom.
Yeah, that wasn't him being like a
Okay,
dick.
I
That
guess
was
that's
him
true.
being like, all right, your mom, you did lay out plans in case people ever came back, and specifically said, don't let them go off planet because, you know, we should maybe be sure they're not going to just fucking disappear again or some like weird shit.
Okay, fair. But still, he was all
Also,
chummy. He's so
Yeah, but
chummy
what's
and
the
buddy
most-
buddy, but it's like, dude, that's fuck. I hate him. Like, he's so
Yeah,
fake.
but think about all villains like that. They're all like every single villain that where it's like you don't know that he's a villain at first is like that. They're all chummy and they're like, oh yeah, we're the good guys, right? Wink, wink. And then he's like, ha, fuck you, I was evil all along.
True. But, you know, Wu and Monica take out all the guards that are escorting them real quick, and Darcy, in just amazement, asks why nobody told her the plan. And it was like, well, you weren't going to do much, Darcy. It was just probably better.
That's what I was just about them. That's funny that they said that because I didn't remember that exact line, but I was about to be like, Darcy, what, like,
yeah, what the fuck were you gonna
yeah,
do? Although,
I mean,
she did fight dark elves.
She did find dark elves.
And what the fuck is some little, you know, some fed trooper to a dark elf? So
You bring up fair points, but they steal some sword ponchos and get to work just infiltrating this base and shit. But back in the Hex, Billy and Tommy prepare for some trick or treating. It's just really a cute time. And as Billy and Tommy head off for their little excursion here, Pietro yells, "Unleash hell, demon spawn."
Okay.
once again, as much like this is another thing where I don't think it's necessarily one of those like, ooh, he's actually evil.
Well,
I think it's him being the
not.
uncle, being like, release hell, demon spawn, as they run around the town terrorizing.
I hope it's not actually serious because fuck if that wouldn't just be stupid. Like, come on, at least try to be a little ambiguous about it.
Yeah, I think
Shit,
it's just one of
don't
those
just say
implicit
that
lines,
shit.
you know.
Like,
you're supposed to get the meaning from it. Feel me?
Yeah, we did not hear a thing you said, but sure.
Oh, I said I think it's just one of those implicit lines. Like you're supposed to take in the meaning, even though it's right in front of you. I'm just picking out any line you can get. You know, you get me.
Yeah.
But
also, which I get it, but I also did love that line because it is funny.
Oh, it is just objectively funny.
Because of the fact that, you know, if I'm eventually the day that I become an uncle, I hope to say that to my nieces and nephews as well. As I bring them to cause terror upon my siblings.
Absolutely.
That's fair.
Absolutely.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But after this, Wanda asks Pietro about back in the orphanage, that kid with the skin thing, and I think this was a little nod to another comic book character from the Brotherhood of Mutants, Toad. If you remember Toad from the original X-Men movie, he's got the long tongue, you know, Toad-like, like the name. And Pietro catches on here. He's like, "You're testing me," and he's like, "It's cool. It's cool. You know, I do look different." And she's like, "Why do you look different?" And he's like, "Shit, I don't know, man. If I found Shangri-La, I wouldn't want to be reminded of the past either."
How funny would it have been if they'd have been like, I don't remember the actor. What's his name? Taylor, right? Something like
Aaron
that.
Taylor Johnson or something like that.
Yeah. How funny would it have been? He's like, oh, they just couldn't get ATJ back. They couldn't get him for the show. He was busy. Like, just imagine if that was the like. I can't rule anything out. Like, I say that like it's so ridiculous, but like watch, there's gonna be a moment like that at some point in Marvel Cinematic Universe, like random as fuck. Like.
There might be, but you know, Billy and Tommy approach ready to head to the next house, and Uncle P is like, "Yo, let me maximize your candy intake." To which Tommy responds, quote, "Kick ass." a nice little nod to the fact that Evan Peters and Aaron Taylor Johnson were both the main characters in that movie. They both played Quicksilver. So that was cool. But Wanda walks up to Herb and asks about how patrol's going. He says it's quiet so far, and quickly after things start to fall apart, you know, we see Quicksilver run by, take all the candy, and then shit just keeps getting worse and worse from there. And
I don't know if I'd say worse and worse.
No, I mean for
funny.
Herb. For Herb. But yeah, it's funnier and funnier. He's just wreaking havoc on the neighborhood, stealing candy, spraying people with silly string. It's a good time. But you know, she suggests that maybe Vision could help him out, and Herb's like, "Oh yeah, he's not working." And Wanda's like,
What?
And Herb's
Excuse
like, "Is everything okay? Is there anything you need changed?" Which,
Yeah. Yep.
clearly he has a job. Like, she's assigned him a prime directive. Like, sure,
Yeah.
you're playing this character, but if there's something you notice that is off, you need to fix it.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like Agnes.
A little bit,
I feel like they have a little bit more like kind of free will, but not really free will.
I just still think it's so weird that Herb has been gone for like 2 or 3 episodes now, right? I mean, it had been a minute since we've seen Herb, and at least in my memory, I could have just omitted him from remembering.
I guess episode 3 probably would have been the last time we saw him, the birth of the twins.
Yeah, I don't feel like
we
I've
saw
really
him-
seen him since. I mean, I can
Well,
look real
but
quick. It's not hard.
This is
but-
episode 6, right?
Did we see him in episode 5?
We didn't. Well, episode 4 was the outside, and then episode 5 was all about
Wanda came outside.
Was like them on the outside, but then also about like Wanda and Vision fighting. And so the only real character that we saw outside of that was like Agnes, right?
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Because it was
Fair
it was
enough.
her, like
But,
the kids and all that stuff. So there hasn't really been a lot of interaction with the outside world, with the outside like community, outside of being, outside of Agnes. She was really the only one from the community that they really interacted with.
Okay, he's only
true.
been in 3 episodes, so
Yeah,
he's
it would have been
definitely been missing some. Like it wasn't it was definitely the first 2, and then
I think
maybe
it
not
would've
first
been,
2.
two or 1, 3, and
Yeah, I was gonna
6.
say I just know I haven't seen him in a minute, and that was kind of
Yeah.
strange to me, especially since he came out and said something that like showed some sort of more relevance, I guess. Like, because I had that line in my notes too. You want something to change? Like,
Yeah, I think that's
what?
less of like he's been off doing something and more of just how the episodes have.
Yeah, and that's fine. It just made
Yeah.
it like jump out to me even more when the first time I've seen
Yeah.
him in a while was him saying something like that, because it's like, man, where have you been? Like, what is your importance then? What are you? Like, what
Yeah,
is your
100%.
relevance?
But we cut to she says it's fine, and they go about their way, and then we cut to Vision making his own way through Westview, and he walks down the street and looks to a house where 2 people are decorating for Halloween, but they seem to be stuck in a loop. We already talked about this a little bit ago. They're doing the little small actions over and over, and this really fucked me up. It was really haunting and heartbreaking to see that tear fall down that chick's face.
Oh my gosh. It seems like some Jordan Peele horror shit. Like that,
Yes.
if that doesn't come straight out of like Get Out or some shit for me, man.
Well, that's what tells me that is that like she doesn't even have like complete mind control over them. Like,
Yeah,
they're truly in agony because they're aware of what's happening.
But it's like they're immobile. Like, at least if they could, dang, that is fucked.
Well,
I'll
I
say
think-
this.
I think it's kind of been shown that they've always been like everyone's aware of what's happening because like what I can't remember his name, the dude that Vision works with said like it
Norm.
hurts. Yeah, Norm like clearly I think everyone knows what's going on. They just can't do anything about it. But this one is the first one where like the tear rolled down her face because clearly it's probably worse for her because there's so little going on.
Yeah. You have nothing but that horror. You're not really playing a character. You're just living in that fucking paralyzed state.
I'll say this. Seeing how many moments in this show have kind of left me like, I'll say shuddering. Like, it's not that bad, but like, I'll say like giving me like kind of like, whoa, like it's getting like kind of creepy, chilly. Like, it's chilling. You know what I mean? Like that, like, ooh. that kind of
heebie-jeebies.
uncomfortable. Yeah,
Like goosebumps.
yeah, like almost in just a chilling sense. Like seeing that in this show and in Marvel has made me so excited for Sam Raimi's Multiverse of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there's one thing about Raimi, he loves to go horror mode. Like, he loves to inflict some sort of, like, scare, like, even if it's campy. Like, he did it in Spider-Man 2 with the scenes where Doc Ock becomes, like, back, and the lady screaming and the fingernails. Like, I know that's campy, but, like, I am so excited to see in a new age Marvel movie, like, some horror shit. Like, I want it. Like, New Mutants, like, I would love to see the MCU do a New Mutants concept, like, where it's supposed to be scary. Like, that would be fucking awesome.
And Wanda's a perfect character to do that with in the Multiverse of Madness. But, here we, Vision confused, he goes on about his way after seeing this, and we cut to commercial, and we see a kid on an island. He says that he is so hungry he could eat anything. And then jumping out of the water, a shark says he remembers being hungry, and all he had to do was, quote, snack on Yo Magic. He says, "Here you go, little dude," and tosses the Yo Magic to the kid. And I don't know who else we heard say little dude in this episode, but it was Pietro. He's like, "Right on, little dude." So I think this shark was meant to be kind of a Pietro representation here. I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah.
This commercial was the one that left me kind of dumbfounded because in the past it's all been things we've seen. Like, they've all been tied to something that's happened, something that Wanda has been a part of that is like not good usually.
Yeah.
I mean, something bad happened to Wanda.
I think that if this shark is to represent Pietro, and if Pietro is not actually Pietro and he's some sort of negative entity that's siphoning her magic or something, taking the magic from people, which is causing them to, stay still and be paralyzed, maybe.
He's just snacking on her magic.
Just snacking on her magic.
He just showed up and said, "Let me snack on your magic."
I don't know, though. This one did leave me a little bit confused. The kid is unable to open the container and he dies and then turns into a skeleton. And then,
God damn, that was dark. That was dark.
Yeah, but the slogan here is Yo Magic, the snack for survivors. So, do you think it's like the survivors of Westview get powers? Is it,
if you can withstand
if you're
this,
not getting enough magic, you won't live?
Oh, fuck. God damn. Dude, this shit, my God, my brain hurts. My brain fucking hurts.
This whole commercial it just confused me.
It's just,
fuck.
It's wild. It's wild.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know.
Just fuck.
I don't know. But, back in the Hex, the family makes their way past a movie theater showing The Incredibles and The Parent Trap, which I thought was cool. Because The Incredibles is a family of superheroes, just like the one we're watching. And The Parent Trap is about reunited twins, which we're also watching.
Fuck, I didn't even connect that.
Yeah, I liked that. I thought that was cool. But Pietro says he can't believe she's making them return the candy he stole. And she says, "I can't believe how much of a bad influence you are." He says he's just trying to, quote, play his part, and then lists what he is supposed to be doing as though it's a character description for a casting. He's like, create tension with the brother-in-law, be a fun uncle to the kids. Da-da-da-da. I'm just trying to play my part.
Okay. God damn. Wrenches being thrown. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Wrenches.
Because right there, that could just mean this is just a dude who she's projecting Pietro onto.
That's what I'm saying.
Which I sure hope isn't the case.
It's just Evan Peters. She's just taking Evan Peters and casting Pietro onto.
Yeah. She just took Evan Peters out of the MCU's reality.
He's going to come to and be like, "Where am I? Last time I was on the set of
You know what?
X-Men
I'd
and
be
I
okay
don't
with
know what
that
the
as long as
fuck
he keeps his
happened.
powers.
It's like,
If instead of where
shit.
he comes up and says about like, oh, like what was happening to him, if instead he just is like, one moment I was shooting X-Men and then all of a sudden I was in this reality. I don't know what happened.
But she goes, "What happened to your accent?" And he goes, "What happened to yours?" And
Which is funny
he
because
says he
fans have
doesn't
been
know,
talking
quote,
about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump. It's so funny though because I remember ever since Wanda showed up first to like every movie since, fans go nuts for that shit. Like they lose it. I'm like, it's not that
absolutely.
distracting, is it? Is it that distracting? Like, is it that bad? I don't know. Maybe I'm just like, I don't care that much. I don't know. Am I wrong for that?
No, I don't think so. But here he says he doesn't know what happened. That quote, the details are fuzzy, and if the devil's in the details, I mean. One moment, he's shot dead in the street, and then he hears Wanda calling for him. He knew that she needed him. What?
See, I just feel like that's so
But
manipulative.
that doesn't explain why
That's
you have
so...
a different face.
Right, exactly. But to me, it's just so manipulative because, like, he knows that's something she's gonna hear and is gonna be like, "Oh shit," you know what I mean? Like that's gonna
I
hurt.
did
That's
need
gonna
you.
like
Like I needed somebody.
almost blind her, like to a sense. Like, who cares about the why? He's here. That's what's important. Like, that's so villainous. Like that's crooked in my opinion. Like that
Yeah,
is
100%.
manipulative. Like I want to buy that he's good because I want it just so bad, just because he's so fun. But man, it's so hard to believe it. He says things sometimes that it's just like, fuck.
Yeah, he rubs me a little the wrong way at too many moments for me to think he's purely good. And Billy and Tommy race up here saying that they want to go a few blocks up for a full-size candy bars. And Tommy takes off with super speed and returns with full-size candy in hand. And Pietro yells, "Right on, little dude! Chip off the old Maximoff block! You got super speed!" I thought that was a cute little moment between the uncle and the nephew. It was nice. See, and it's moments like that make me think he's just fine. He's just fun Uncle Pietro. But Wanda tries to comfort him a little, saying it's all right, he can take it slow if he wants, but Tommy's ready to fucking roll. He just immediately darts right off. And Wanda grabs hold of him and slows him down. She says that if he's going to break the sound barrier, to bring his brother. But one of them is very excited to hear this, and the other not so much.
Yeah.
And she says to remember not to go past, and the kids cut her off. Ellis Avenue, we know.
When I saw it, I said to myself, "Oh, they're totally going past that shit," which we didn't get this episode, but I guess now it doesn't really matter. It's not Ellis Avenue anymore, but like,
Yeah.
It is funny that in my head I was like, "Oh, they're gonna run past that shit," and then we get Vision instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I had that thought instead of, as soon as they said don't go past Ellis Avenue, as soon as I heard that, I was like, all right, so Vision's going past Ellis Avenue.
Oh well,
like, we're going to
props to
see
you for
Ellis
being
Avenue
smarter
with
than I
Vision.
am. Props to you for being smarter than I am.
Just because of the fact that I knew Vision was roaming around looking for shit, I was like, all right,
That's
so we're
fair.
obviously there's a reason they said this.
Yeah, no, I should have put two and two together. I just assumed that the two little kids, like, oh, they're gonna not supposed to do something, and then they're gonna see a fucking giant candy bar and be like, oh, I gotta go. Like,
They're gonna be Nemo and touch the butt.
They're gonna see Hayward just standing on the other side with a giant candy bar, just saying, "Come here, kids, come here. I'm the devil.
Schmuck.
I'm gonna steal you."
Fucking schmuck. Fucking schmuck.
I'm the devil.
I hate that guy.
But at back at Swords Camp, the Dream Team, as I will now refer to them as, Darcy, Jimmy, Monica, the Dream Team. They go moving through this thing like the G in lasagna, silent. I can't label it the Woo Team though, because I can't comfortably say that Woo is the leader of this group.
No, Woo's the main character in the show. Jimmy Woo is the center of the Marvel universe. Yes, this is Woo Vision now, not WandaVision.
Within Within Jimmy Woo lies the seventh Infinity Stone. The
Oh,
Woo Stone.
fuck. That's some
Woo
Joseph
stone.
level shit. That's some Joseph level intuition right there. I fuck with that. Joseph, when you hear this, that was for you. That one was for you.
It was for you. I hope he listens to the podcast. He's
Oh,
listening.
I know. I do too. The pee pee poo poo man himself. Tune in.
The pee poo poo man. But they're moving through this thing like the G and lasagna, silent, and they see Pietro on the TVs. Briefly discuss him, nothing too deep, and Darcy hacks into the base's network and then Hayward's files. She says that Hayward found a way to look through the boundary and didn't share with the group, which immediately interesting. Why the fuck? What's he got to hide? And why is he not sharing this with the group? Clearly, he doesn't care that much about the people inside, right?
Right.
They find it's a tracking system set to follow the decay signature of vibranium, and he's tracking Vision. Why is he tracking Vision? What the fuck? They see that the other dots are the other Westview residents, and they settle that Hayward must have an accurate head count by now and a sense for their well-being. And Wu zooms on the edge of town where he sees residents standing perfectly still. They question whether they are alive, and the computer reroutes to, quote, reacquire the asset. So, I mean, he wants to turn Vision into a weapon. It couldn't be more clear than that, right? Like,
Well, and to me, that's already been set in stone, given that they had Vision in the first place.
Or they were just trying to figure out how to like recreate him.
Maybe how to create.
They were doing some fuck shit.
And that could be is that Wanda puts him back together essentially in a sense, and that's good for Hayward. Is like he's like, oh well, shit, I've got that's good. She did what I couldn't do, and I couldn't figure out. She looks like a bad person if she really did break into Sword and break him out. Like that's gonna put her on watch list and fucking on public enemy number one in a lot of eyes. Like he's got everything he wants right now. He's gonna have her as like not good, and yeah, I mean to me that just all adds up.
See, I don't even think he was trying. Whenever I say recreate, I don't think he was trying to bring Vision back. I mean, I think he was trying to figure out a way to create his own Vision that he can implant.
His own synthezoids.
Yeah, that he can implant whatever he wants into. Because I don't think he wants Vision. That's why, kind of going ahead. But later on, whenever Vision is dying in front of him, he was very apathetic and was just like, "All right, who gives a fuck?" Because I don't think he cares if Vision is alive or dead. I think he just wants Vision's body to fuck around with and figure out how to potentially like create an Ultron-esque character again.
Yeah. Obviously, have you guys seen the theories with that Ultron has backed himself up, and then that's how they tried to revive Vision was with Ultron CPU, and that's
fuck. That
could eventually change. I don't think we're headed there. I think, and people really like to latch onto the fact that Age of Ultron comes up at the end of WandaVision episodes, I guess the recommended, but I really think that's just because that's where both of their stories began.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think that's them.
I don't think Ultron has
shit to do on anything. Here. Yeah, I think it's just like, hey, here's another Marvel Cinematic Universe big movie that we want you to watch.
Yeah, here's what I'll say. I don't think that's the case, but damn, there's been fan theories about Ultron being lingering in the shadows forever. I mean, that's been around since Ultron ended. Like, that's been around for a long time. And I'll say this, that's probably the most fitting window for him is now. I don't think it's happening, but this is the most seamless, I guess it would be, in my opinion anyway, just based on what we've already gotten. I feel like this would be the most perfect window.
Maybe they act on that potential Ultron having backed himself up sort of thing in the What If series.
Yeah, okay. And that's good because then they don't have to they can fledge it out, but they don't have to worry about the stakes of it in terms of actuality. What, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. But back in Westview, Vision walks through the neighborhood past some perfectly still people. And he sees some kids dressed as, guess what? Skeletons. Several of them. There are many skeletons here.
Oh.
Kind of a little nod to the commercial, I think.
okay, hear me out. Do you know how he asked her if where she got the kids?
Mm-hmm.
She wouldn't want to use real kid. Oh my God, does she have dead fucking kids rocking around here? I know that's a lot,
That'd be
but
super funny.
No, but
holy
like,
shit, wouldn't it make, like, cause she's still got some sort of moral compass. Like, she's not gonna pluck real life kids, cause I don't think they could handle it. I think they'd die. I think the pain and suffering would be too much. And I don't think she's villainous enough to want to torture kids, even if it's not in her front of her head. So, could she be using dead kids? Oh my God.
I never thought of that. And I don't want to think about it. Because I just don't think they'll go that dark. I wish they would, though. Like, I wish they would. I wish they'd be like, by the way, all the kids are dead. But, I don't know. That just seems like such a big,
But okay, that's where I just want to know then, because where does that line get drawn then? Because if she's using real kids, man, that's fucked. She's became a whole lot more villainous now.
Yeah.
Like, she's really losing the... I don't want to go that direction either. Like, I don't want to go... I don't want to believe that...
But I also think using dead kids is a little bit more fucked.
No, but like... And they would also have to be like relatively newly dead.
Well, would they though?
Yeah,
I guess
know.
She can alter reality, so she could just be
true.
using like skeletons and just give them flesh.
Holy shit!
Maybe that's why they're still towards the edge. Go ahead.
Or okay. Well, first of all, do we even see kids really close towards the edge of town? I feel like we only see that in the heart, which would. Well,
we see them perfectly still here next division.
Okay. Yep. Okay. True. Fuck. Okay. Then if they're not okay, god damn, that was a doozy of a take by me. Oh, fuck.
But maybe it's not as bad because maybe whenever they're on the edge of town, like outside of like as he said, like for the quick the quick episode, maybe whenever they're not like actively doing stuff like trick or treating, maybe they're just asleep.
I have a question. Have we considered the possibility that everyone in there but Wanda is dead? Because the only two people... No, wait. Monica didn't die. Never mind.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they're all dead because they know who all these characters are. And, like, we've seen Norm.
We've seen Norm, yeah. I was just getting lost in the theory here. That's what I was going to say.
Is maybe like all these characters that are on the edge of town that are clearly like really suffering right now because like the one lady that has the tear fall down her eye as she's trying to put up as she's continuously doing that decoration. Maybe all those people, like 99% of the time, are just in like a coma-esque state. And so they're not really suffering except for whenever she needs them to do something, which is why they're just like all frozen on the outskirts of town.
Okay. So, if we're gonna go with Wanda isn't so fucked up to pull kids from the dead, which I'm fine with because that is fucked, but like
that's a little more fucked than mind control.
So hear me out. I don't think she'd want to mind control these kids either. What if in her head, think about what did Billy? It was either Billy or Tommy. He said you can bring them back. You can bring people back from the dead. What if in her head? We need children in Westview for that's what she wants. She brings kids back from the dead. Am I just tinfoil hatting right now like a motherfucker or what? But
it could happen. But
I need to know why the kids are there. Like, that has to get answered. To me, that doesn't not get answered, especially since people have asked about it in the show. It has been talked about. Why are there no kids by Vision? And he was fucking scared. So, if there's kids now, I don't feel like she'd want to mind control because it's painful. She knows this. She's not gonna, if bringing kids back if taking dead kids and putting them in is fucked up too, what if she's bringing these kids back from the dead?
I think she's ignoring how painful it is to be her mind control. I think she's ignoring how painful it is because clearly she's okay with doing it to everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And so as Evan Peters kind of says, where he's like, I mean, clearly you wouldn't want to separate families. I think she just pulled a bunch of families in, the first couple episodes just had them in a coma-like state because she didn't have the need for kids to be around. And then whenever Vision asks about it, she's like, "Well, fuck, he's catching on. Maybe if I have a bunch of kids around, he'll chill the fuck out and quit trying to ruin everything." So she brings all these kids out of like, she pulls them off the bench and puts them into play for a bit.
It's got to get
get you.
answered.
I
Like,
get
I
you.
think
But-
Vision raising the question in that episode has to be answered. Like, it doesn't just not get answered now. Because didn't Pietro say something about it too? Didn't Pietro say something about it too?
Yeah, that's what I
right?
said about how he said you wouldn't want to split up families. So what'd you do? And he's like, have they just been like asleep this whole time? And then you were waiting until the episode whenever you needed them. And then, like the one off, and then she pulls them all out, both two, because it fits the Halloween episode. And then it also calms Vision down a little bit. And so then she pulls him off the bench for an episode, and then probably, assuming like had everything gone right, she would then put him back on the bench and probably put them all asleep again. To where I would assume,
I think that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, I would assume like them in like a sleep state or whatever would probably be a little less shitty than.
Yeah. Okay.
But Vision walks up to one of the residents nearby and asks if the kids are here, asks if she's doing anything, and she's just standing perfectly still, not answering. And he looks around and sees that everyone is perfectly still, and he realizes it doesn't matter what he does here and returns to his true form. And he says it just wouldn't make any difference anyway. And he flies up to see that the deeper into Westview you get, the more activity there is. I don't know if you noticed that, but the light goes out as you pan towards Ellis Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting. Just that if you're at the edge, you're just not doing shit. And he notices a car in the distance, and he flies down to find it with Agnes in the driver's seat, seemingly paralyzed. And he asks,
"This shit freaked me out. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, I'm watching this at like 2:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. It was like this shit was creepy. Like,
this was a good scene. This was like a really, really good scene on Catherine Hahn's part too. Like, I'm
gonna be honest. I guess I'm so used to seeing her and just like being the funny woman, I guess, in a sense. Like, I mean, I just don't know. I haven't been fortunate enough, I guess, if she does have roles where she's more serious or like more like shows more range. I guess maybe I missed them. But man, she's good. She's really good.
She's really good. But he asks what she's doing here, and she says with a pained face, but a curious tone, "Town Square Scare, where is it?" And Vision tells her, "Town Square, I'd imagine." And this part right here, I think this is important, where she goes, with tears in her eyes, "Took a wrong turn, got lost."
Yeah, that to me shows like she's so close to breaking through like that like wherewithal of like I've got like I have my own, but then Wanda's like she's like almost feeling it's either Wanda's taking the time to like pull her back in, like she can't fight it hard enough to get the full go the distance, or B, she is maybe like wanting to go, but like Agnes has been a mentor to Wanda in the past. Like maybe there's like a debt kind of thing. Like she feels indebted to like having to stay and be around Wanda. I don't know.
I think that this little "took a wrong turn, got lost" line is an actual reference to how she got here to Westview.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember, but when she first introduces herself, she's like, "I'm sorry, I wasn't here when you got here. I was out of my mother-in-law was in town, so I wasn't." So I think what happens is that, Agnes accidentally takes a wrong turn, gets lost, and now she's in Westview, and she's been trying to find her way out ever since.
Oh, damn. Maybe
Agnes really is just like been trying to befriend Wanda.
I've said this every week. I feel like on this pod, but god damn, every week we get one episode closer to the end of the show, and every week I feel like we get left with more and more questions, and it's like, how are they going to wrap this all up? Like, they have a
no
lot
idea.
to do, and it's not like a non-trust thing. Like, I know they'll do it, but it's like, god damn, it's like, when are they going to come? Because, like, I expected it last episode, and I feel like I have just as many, if not more, questions. So it's like,
Exactly.
holy shit, when does the question asking stop and the question solving start? Like,
Oh, they've solved questions. It's just for every single time they solve a couple questions,
like
they then
2
say,
more.
all right, I answered one of your questions. Here's 4 more.
Enjoy.
What about it?
Yeah.
But
like,
Vision asks how
okay.
she got lost. Oh wait. Sorry, I'm skipping like crazy.
Okay.
Vision asks her how she got lost in the town she grew up in. And she doesn't respond, and she keeps staring blankly ahead, and Vision touches her temple and wakes her from Wanda's control. And she gasps and looks to Vision and says, "You're one of the Avengers. One of the Avengers. Are you here to help us?" And he says, "I am Vision, and I do want to help, but what the fuck's an Avenger?" And she's like, "You don't know? Why the fuck do you not know?" And then she's like, "Oh my god, am I dead?" And he's like, "Why the fuck would you think you're dead?" And she's like, "Well, because you're dead." And he's like, "I'm dead?"
Yeah, this was a funny exchange this was a funny exchange in a place that it shouldn't have been funny.
When she does go ahead.
Dead.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is happening here?
When she did that and then the laugh, she laughed like hella creepily. Am I imagining this?
No, you're not. When she was like, she really wanted to be saved from this place. I think like her having been in the Hex is what's going to turn her into a witch.
Okay.
I think that because she is in this reality, that's how she's going to be altered potentially, is that she becomes that sort of witch character. She loses her mind. And
she definitely fucking loses her mind.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you that. And Vision says he's going to get help on the outside. Agnes responds that no one leaves. Wanda won't even let them think about it. All is lost. And then she laughs maniacally as fuck, as though she's just lost her mind. And then Vision returns her to her mind-controlled state. He's like, "I promise, Agnes, I'll fix this." And she says, "Okie dokie, neighbor." And she takes a U-turn, and she was at Ellis Avenue, ready to leave.
Yeah, I really loved the fact that she was dressed as a witch as she went through the fucking witch cackle.
Yep. I thought the same thing.
Oh yeah, of course, naturally. But Vision pushes onward, and outside the Hex, the Dream Team continues to do their thing with Monica exclaiming that her way back into the Hex has been secured. She's got to meet her guy over the ridge. So, next episode, I think we can see whoever the aerospace engineer is going to be, which is cool.
Okay. Do you think Evan Peters is the cameo or not? Where are we at on this?
No.
Because if it's the astrophysicist, who the fuck is this guy?
It's not. That's not the big cameo. It just can't be.
No, that's what I'm saying. So when are we gonna get this shit? Like, stop fucking playing.
Although
with
the
me.
more and more that he's in there, the more and more I have enjoyed his cameo. But I still don't think it's a. No matter how much I enjoy it, it's not a Luke level cameo.
That's what I'm saying. Who the fuck is it? Who the fuck is it? I just today saw a picture with the WandaVision like logo and like that scenery with like the family pictures and the wallpaper, and then it had a bunch of old TVs like from each like a bunch of different eras stacked up, and then it built up. It was like 3, 2, 1, and then the top one was fucking Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man logo and then Tobey Maguire's face. And I don't think that's it, but goddamn, like I don't know what it is, and I'm fucking going crazy. Yeah. I can't fucking figure it out. I'm going
maybe it's
nuts.
Maybe it's Doc Ock, and they're gonna have like someone play Doc Ock, and that's who the aerospace engineer is it's just fucking Doc Ock.
Holy shit. He is coming back, I think. I thought I saw that. I don't know if I don't even know what's rumored and not anymore. I also heard that every episode for the rest of the season was supposed to be an hour, and this one's 38 minutes long. So my mind is fucked. My mind is fucked.
Wait, that's not true?
It's not true.
It's bullshit. Yeah, I know. I'm not happy about it either. Apparently somebody
I'm
It was
so
a
hurt.
bunch of fan accounts and twisted Kevin Feige's quote around or something. I don't even know. I don't know.
Why would you? Why have
So
they
what I
done
did hear though was that the producer of the show said that there's about 6 hours of runtime in total, and we're at roughly 3.5. So I don't think we're getting very long anything.
that? Well, if there's and we're at 3.5, and you said there's how many episodes are left?
3. So I guess that's two and
So
a
then
half
maybe this
hours.
one, yeah. So
That's,
maybe this one's 30 minutes, and then the next one is the next 2 are hours or hour-long episodes.
could be. And
Maybe.
I hope
Maybe.
so.
But Monica and Jimmy are ready to roll out here, and Darcy says that they can't go back into the hex, and she shows Monica her blood work and says that the hex has altered her on a molecular level. And this gives credence to Miles's theory, I think, where she's like, I've seen a lot of lab tests, like just not worried about it in the slightest.
Yeah, she
says she
brushes off the fact that she's
mutated.
being which is a little odd, but to each their own.
She says she knows what Wanda is going through and that she has to help her. And Darcy's like, fuck it, fine, but I'm going to stay here. And Darcy says that she hasn't made it through the last firewall, that she knows there's something big here that can help them. Monica's like, fuck it, fine, but just meet us as soon as you're done. And they hop in one of the sword jeeps and take off.
Okay, I can't wait to hear that. Like, I can't wait to figure out if she finds out, I guess. I can't wait to figure out what it was, because that's going to do a lot.
She found the one, like the cataphract, what
cataract.
Cataract, that's what it was. Cataract thing. But she also sent, she sent Jimmy Woo a bunch of shit, right?
She sent Jimmy the files. The cataract
she sent Jimmy
file.
a bunch of, but I think she might have also sent him some other stuff, and so it might be that she found something, but it didn't, like, go over what she actually found through the last firewall.
True.
And that they're going to talk about it the next episode, and then, because she got distracted before she could fully read everything into it, because she had to go get turned into who knows what.
True. But back in the hex, Wanda and Pietro enter the town square scare, and Pietro, with another devilish reference, says, "Damn it, if Westview, New Jersey isn't charming as hell."
Holy shit. I didn't even notice all of these reference to devilish things. I didn't even notice these.
There's so many.
And I feel dumb.
Throwing them in our face.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They really do that. They fucking smack you with it.
But they take a seat as Wanda says that she really does like it here, and Pietro says that Mom and Dad would have loved it. And a couple of kids run by, and Pietro asks, "So, where were you hiding all these kids up till now?" And Wanda is taken aback. He says, "I assume they were all sleeping peacefully in their beds. No need to traumatize beyond the occasional holiday episode cameo, right? You were always the empathetic twin." And I was like,
He knows too much. He's too, he beats her to the punch, which seems strange. Like, that is weird. You know what I mean? Like, how he goes, Mom and Dad.
Also Quicksilver.
Yeah, I guess. But he's like, Mom and Dad would have loved it. Like, you don't say that in passing, especially when, your background is that's iffy. Like, we don't know what, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, as much as yes, you could take that as a bad way, I have to be the maybe it's not. Maybe it's just him saying stuff in that, they did lose their parents, and so maybe he's just saying, man, Mom and Dad would have loved to live here peacefully instead of, dying in a accident.
War-torn Sokovia.
Yeah. And then also with the, beating her to the punch, they grew, if we're assuming he is actually just like the old Pietro and for some reason just looks different, they grew up together, so he knows about her powers. So it wouldn't, if someone has these powers, it wouldn't be outside of the realm of possibility that you just what the fuck have you been doing? What have you been up to?
True.
Because you've clearly been up to some shit, because I know what your powers are, and you're doing some shit.
But yeah, after he's like, "So where were you hiding all the kids? I assume they were peacefully sleeping in their beds. No need to traumatize them beyond the occasional holiday episode cameo." And he also says, "You were always the empathetic twin." What's interesting to me, and what I think grants credence to Kyler's stuff, is that he does say a lot of unprompted stuff about their relationship. He's trying to force her to make this connection. a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't feel like it's fluid. It's not like, that's not casual enough. It's like he's trying to get her to, like, turn, like, almost like turn a blind eye to him. Like, oh yeah, it's me.
Exactly.
Like,
But
I don't know. Like I said, I just don't want to, like, I want it. I want him to be good just because I love the character, but I can't buy it. I can't. He's
I
too
can't
something
either.
off.
So
There's something
here
strange.
Wanda's just really flustered. But Pietro continues. He says, "Don't get me wrong. You've handled the ethical considerations of the scenario as best you could. Family mostly stays together. People have better jobs. Most personalities are roughly the same as to what's underneath." And Wanda questions. She's like, "So you don't think it's wrong?" And Pietro says, "What, are you kidding? I'm impressed. Seriously. It's a big leap from giving people nightmares and shooting red wiggly woos out of your hands." So, second mention
But
of
wouldn't
nightmare.
that be something that a fucking, like, bad person would say to, like, make her feel good about this, knowing it's not? Like, God damn it. Like,
Yeah, but they're
That's
also
what's interesting.
siblings. They're also siblings, though, so it's going to be one of those things where I feel like he would also support, even if she's, being a little off and doing some questionable things. I feel like he would also support her because it is his sister, and he knows what she's been through.
What's interesting is in the House of M comic book series from 2005, Pietro, spoiler alert for that comic book, is actually who convinces Wanda to create another reality. He actually is like, come on, if you give everyone a perfect life, nobody will give a shit that you did it. At least everyone will have what they want.
so
Which I thought,
so basically telling her to be Pedro Pascal from Wonder Woman 84.
pretty much.
Basically.
Pretty much.
I forget his name, sorry. His name in the movie. But
Oh, yeah, it was Maxwell Lord.
yeah.
But he asks her how she even did all this, and he's like, "Come on, I'm not some stranger, and I'm not your husband. You can talk to me." Doesn't say I'm your brother, by the way. Doesn't say I'm your brother. He says I'm not a stranger, and I'm not your husband.
And again, like, to me, it's so manipulative. Like, knowing Vision and her are on, like, iffy ground. Like, wouldn't it be nice to have an ally right now? Like, come on. Like, that just seems so shady to me.
I agree.
I mean, he did say that his character description was, cause some tension with the brother-in-law.
Miles, if you make another excuse for this man, I swear to God, he's the devil. Give it
I
up.
want him to be good. I want him to be good,
Miles
and
is
I
a
want
devil
Hayward to
apologist.
get killed. What'd you say, Colton?
Miles is a devil apologist.
I mean, listen.
You're an enabler. No, he seems, and it's probably just, it's all fresh right now, and we've just leaned so hard into it this pod, and I've just really ran with it, and now it's just anything and everything looks like it, but damn, man, if it doesn't seem just a little edgy to it, like, it's like, I don't know.
Well, also, another reason why I am doing all this is because of the fact that, like, we've had 2 episodes, or like 1.5 episodes of him saying a bunch of shit that is like, oh, he's clearly maybe he's the bad guy. We had the same thing with Hayward, thinking, oh, maybe he's the devil, because he was saying a bunch of shit that was like, well, that's questionable at best. And so I feel like they keep trying, they're trying to throw us off like someone's scent of someone's the bad guy, and they're trying to throw us off by having him say all of this shit.
All right, fair.
And that's what I think is happening, and that's why I keep trying to be like, well, but maybe, give reasons as to why maybe this is just.
See, and
him.
I like that, and I almost lean more into the fact, and as much as I hate to say this, because I fucking hate the guy, but I almost lean more into that in terms of, like, Hayward's crooked intentions might end up at the end of the show, may end up getting tied into, like, him, like, having some crooked intentions, but, like, ultimately being not as bad, like, he's not as evil as I thought, in a sense. Like, they just kind of played him that way.
Yeah.
Like, he just had a bigger picture that he was keeping under wraps, and, like, he had an end goal that was, maybe the means were a little crooked, but the end goal wasn't in itself. Like, and I don't want to believe that because he's done some really fucked up shit, but, like, still.
dick.
Like if I would almost, if we're going that way, I almost buy it more with him than I do Pietro, just because I just think his appearance and the way he like plays things just seems more shady to me. I don't know, and like I don't, and yeah, that's just a disagreement, and that's fine. That's good.
Which
Dissent
I
is
would
good.
agree with. That makes sense. I just, because of the fact that I like
Oh,
Evan Peters more, I want
yeah.
him to be.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, I hate that I had to just say that maybe Hayward might end up being not as bad as I thought. Like, I hated saying it, but like, I'm so all in on him being bad now. Like, on Evan Peters just being bad.
The words physically made me want to vomit because fuck Hayward.
Yeah.
But he asked her how she even did all this, and Wanda says that she doesn't know how she did it, that she only remembers feeling completely alone, empty, just endless nothingness. So is there the possibility that nobody is manipulating Wanda's powers, but was instead manipulating Wanda's feelings?
Like, I wonder man, I don't know. There's so much nuance to this, because it's like, was Wanda in such a bad emotional state that like she's somehow, some way interacted indirectly, like in, like, I hate to say awoken, but like put on the radar of a bad character, like a nightmare or a Mephisto, is she like, was that emotional state so fragile that like, they saw a window, they saw a chance there. Like, I don't know, but it's tough. There's so much here. There's so much.
Maybe this is all her, and she creates Mephisto.
Oh,
like
mother of Mephisto.
Holy shit! The mom is the ultimate importance.
But after saying that it was just endless nothingness, she turns away to kind of compose herself, and when she turns back, she sees Pietro with the bullet holes in his chest and his eyes cloudy.
Holy fuck. Scary.
I love it. I loved it whenever they did it this time, and I loved it whenever they did it with Vision.
Oh, I did too. Okay, to backtrack just a second. You saying that maybe she created Mephisto. Did Evan Peters not say, I just heard you and you needed me? Like, I know needing the devil sounds bad, but like, in terms of like the devil, like, wouldn't that environment be perfect for him? Like, she's lonely and like that, like, I felt totally alone, darkness, like, does not foster the kind of environment the devil would thrive in? I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I am just all balls to the wall with Evan Peters being some sort of evil bad person. I'm all in on it.
I'm with you there, but Pietro asks if she's okay after seeing this, and she says she is, but he's not buying it. And then Darcy, back outside the hex, Darcy finds a file titled Cataract, and it says classified weapons intel. So it's clearly weaponry. Like, she definitely wants to turn Vision into a weapon, I think, is what Hayward's up to.
Yeah, and I just feel like that just builds further just on the fact that he's tracking him, like,
yeah,
and that they already had him in his possession.
But
like, he's got a game. He's got an end game with Vision. Like, he's got something. There is, I don't know.
100%. But she prepares to send the file to Jimmy Woo when she sees Vision approaching the barrier, and Hayward also sees this, and he sends a team out there to greet him. And Vision walks up to the barrier, and it opens up to him, and he tries to walk through. And they line the wall in anticipation, these soldiers, and Vision emerges, being held back by the barrier itself, it seems like. It's kind of pulling at him, like, no, you can't get out.
Which, I didn't feel, I don't know, I guess we didn't really see anybody else come out in that way except Wanda, which obviously she's not going to pull on herself, but I don't know.
Monica she also got pushed out, so Wanda was forcing her out, so I guess it wouldn't make sense for her to get
That's
pulled
what I'm
back.
saying. I just don't know, like, we've never seen somebody try to willingly walk out.
Yeah.
My theory...
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
My theory is that if other people wanted to walk out, they have that opportunity. But that's why she tells them not to go past Ellis Avenue. But I think Vision's having been revived is directly tied to this.
I agree. I see what I hated about. I say hated. It just irked me, I guess, because I had in my notes as soon as I saw Vision drifting over there, I was like, "This is huge. Like, we're gonna finally figure out what is Vision gonna look like outside of this reality. Is he gonna go back to the gray hole in his head type thing we saw at the end of Endgame? I mean, wasn't he in pieces in the camera when we saw him in Sword? Like, is this
Yeah.
man just going to turn into what that was? Like, what are we going to see?" And then it was kind of anticlimactic because it was really just him being the same. And, like, I know he got it, like, he started getting, like, pieces pulled off of him and whatever. But, like, that wasn't, like, I don't know. It wasn't what I expected, I guess.
I agree, but I do like that how he emerges from it and walks towards it. It looks his exact same choreography as it was in Infinity War when he died. Where he
You
dropped
sent
to
that, and that was, like, man, powerful.
It really is. And
Well, and it makes total sense because it's Wanda's powers acting on him again. Like, this is the same
Exactly.
thing. Like, exact same thing.
And as he's trying to fight for his life out of the barrier, Hayward says he really does want out, doesn't he? And we can see him being torn apart, chunks of vibranium returning to the reality, and Darcy cannot stand by and watch. She asks why nobody is helping him, and he's falling apart.
So here's what I'm confused about, I guess. Hayward, like we said, it's obvious he wants Vision as a weapon, but like, if Vision gets literally disintegrated, like if he just gets pulled apart until there's nothing left, what does he stand to gain from that? That's your weapon gone, bro. Like that's it.
I don't think he wants Vision as a weapon. I think he wants to use Vision to create weapons.
But either way, the dude was getting pulled apart into pieces. He was going to be nothing. There was going to be nothing left. Like, what does he gain from
know
that?
about that.
I guess, but it sure looked like it. I mean, shit.
I agree, but I actually think that because of what happens when he gets back into the reality here in a second, I think that like it legitimately was just going to pull him back piece by piece. Like
and then okay, like it was in like transit. Like he was gonna go from full together here to whoop full.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fair. I'll believe that. I'll buy that. That's fine.
Like I doubt that like Wanda would like set
kill
up
him. Yeah, that's
set
fair.
up
That's not a death trap. She's not gonna set a mouse trap for my guy. That's fair.
I think Hayward understands at that moment that he can't do anything. Like, what's he gonna do to stop? Like to either keep Vision out in like the outside world so that way he can use him to create weapons or whatever. Like there's nothing he can do to stop what's happening to him. So I think he's just like, all right, might as well get a good view of it and see what's, figure out what's going to happen, like what is going to happen to him.
Yeah. And Darcy, after pointing out that, he's being torn apart, she's promptly grabbed and handcuffed to the front of a car. And just thought that was very Fed-like. And back in the Hex, Billy hears Vision screams in his head, and he stops Tommy from running using a blue version of his mom's power, which I thought was cool.
Yep,
and he goes,
I fucking like Billy a lot. I think his powers are super badass.
Super cool.
Don't get me wrong, having super speed would be sick, but like getting Billy's a Wanda-esque
super speed is just such a basic power.
Well, and I think with this is like it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what could happen to Billy because he's a kid. Like Wanda got her powers at like, I mean, we can argue what that was like late teenage years or like she's young, but like she's at least semi-old. This kid's like what, 10? He's 10, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, dude, that's a lot for a 10-year-old. Like,
true.
I don't know, man. Interesting to think about.
But he goes to get Wanda and he yells for her and he says that he hears Dad in his head, that he's in trouble. And you can hear Vision call for help, and he says that we cut back to Vision outside of the Hex being pulled apart, and he calls for help. He says the people need help, which I love that Vision through and through is just like, no matter what, I'm gonna help save these people.
Right.
Like, I know I'm being tortured to death right now, but I'm gonna save these people.
Which, to me, this sucks, though, because Vision's trying to do good, but it sucks that he's falling on the ears of likely the worst person for it.
Exactly.
It's like Hayward, who, like, we don't really know what, like, does this man, like, what is his intentions? Like, or what are his intentions? You know what I mean? It's like, God damn, that sucks. Because
Yeah,
now he's
exactly.
going to be extra, like, he's going to have no hesitation on anything that has to do with Wanda, which, like, to me leads, like, if he finds out these little kids have powers, he's probably not going to feel very fond of them either. Like, fuck.
Exactly. But we see Vision, his body's being taken apart, and he collapses in pain. And back in the Hex, Billy is scared. He says that he doesn't know what's happening to him, and then Wanda asks where he is, and Pietro decides to butt in, and he says, "Relax, sis. It's not like your dead husband can die twice." That's the last straw for me. Like, this can't be her brother.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought that line. Once again, I thought that line was funny.
No,
to me, it's just like
and also fits the way that he's playing Quicksilver. Of he's just like a sarcastic asshole, and thought like, oh, maybe this will be a good laugh. I mean, it's super rough. Like it's a rough line, but also it's kind of funny.
I feel like he is trying everything he can to set the cards, like knock every domino down to where it's like, boom, I've got her. Like, you know what I mean? I can't shake it. He's not, there's something bad. It's hard to ignore, and there's so much.
Maybe he's trying to manipulate her emotions here. Relax, sis. It's not like your dead husband can die twice. Expand this reality for me, please.
Yeah, right. Like it just seems like he's playing her, like he's using her manipulative, like the way he says things, it just, man.
But, she really doesn't like that he says this, and she sends him flying with a blast to the chest. And Billy looks into his mind's eye and sees Vision, and he reports to Wanda that the people outside think he's dying. And without question, she stops everything, pauses every single thing that's happening, sticks her hands out, and we see a big boom. We see a big boom, to put it plainly. She expands that barrier. And the barrier bears down on those outside, Darcy being swept into it, Vision being saved. Monica, Wu, and Hayward, I think, all made it out.
Yeah.
I loved Darcy's line here where she's like, are you just going to leave me here? And then the guy just runs away, and she's like, all right, asshole, as she's getting sucked in.
Yeah. See, here's what sucks is, like, I'm curious to see if Darcy's inside now, what is she going to do on the inside? Is her coming from the outside? Is she going to have presence of mind to, like, what is she going to do? Is she going to try to Monica this bitch and maybe, like, get in with Wanda and say things? Or is she just going to be is she going to be manipulated just like everybody else? Because she doesn't have powers necessarily.
I think everybody who gets in there gets manipulated.
Yeah, that's what sucks is, like, she just had all this information. See,
even Monica got control.
Oh, but what if she's in there and she has this information. She just got this from Hayward and she didn't get to say anything. What if Vision taps her until she tells Vision?
Oh,
Vision also saw her clearly trying to help him. So maybe he's like, all right, what the fuck do you know? Let's work together.
I need to find her.
Yeah. Also, I really want to know what she turns into. Since clearly all the sword agents get turned into fucking clowns. I want to know what are like clowns or like carnival, like carnies. I want to see what she gets turned into.
I feel like she'll just be, I don't know,
a relatively normal person.
Well, I feel like it'll be a Monica.
I would assume she's going to be a normal person, but I also feel like there is the chance that maybe she's just a fucking carny since she was in that area.
You know what's sick? You know what's kind of fun, or well, it's not really funny because fuck the feds, but these clowns are going to be bulletproof potentially, or at least some of them, because there were some armored.
I mean,
you're
not wrong.
Like these clowns going to be walking around straight up Teflon out here, Kevlar in this bitch.
But what's interesting about Darcy's the actress here, since the next episode is probably going to be set roughly in the mid 2000s, 2010s, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Darcy could just play a character from a sitcom she was in. Two Broke Girls. She was
I did see a theory about that where it'd be like that, like they could try to do that.
Like Jimmy Woo would be his character from Fresh Off the Boat.
Yep, Fresh. Yep, I saw that.
Why would he be that character? He would just be
Jim from The Office.
Yeah, he would just be Jim from The Office. What are you talking about?
That's funny.
That's outstanding. But it turned the whole sword set up into a circus camp. But Hayward makes it out, and we see what's up.
Cut the tapes. That means that Evan Peters is going to be Michael Scott's nephew next episode. Just throwing that out there. He's going to get spanked. Book it. Bet the house on it. Throw whatever. Go find some bookie to give you some odds on that shit. Throw the house on it. Hammer it. He's getting spanked, and he's Michael Scott's nephew.
I love
book
it.
Is it Jimmy Woo? Is he going to be the one that comes in and gives him?
I don't care. It's happening. I am sold on it. I want to see the devil get spanked on the ass.
But Hayward outruns the hex, and we see it at its full form, just expanding and expanding. And back in the hex, we see Wanda's eyes open one last time, and then we cut to the police standby.
I saw a tweet and it said, I hate this bitch. And it was the picture of the end scenes of WandaVision. Dude, because when I watch it, I don't pause that much. So, like, I don't know how much time is left. And I'm like, well, judging just based on what we're getting, there's plenty of time, right? And then it ends and I'm like, motherfucker.
That's you're thinking about it wrong. Anytime things get exciting, that means it's the end of the episode.
So what is I have in my notes here, it says home. It's where you make it. Is that on the sign for Westview, isn't it? The new one? Because she expands it, there's a new sign, right? Isn't, again, just another fucking nod. I think that's...
I mean, yeah, probably a nod to the fact that she's made this home for
herself. Right. Man.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Sorry about that.
God, I just want to sleep for the next, 24 hours just so I can wake up and watch WandaVision.
God, wouldn't that be glorious?
It would be.
I was so excited. I thought it was tonight. I was like, shit, we're going to get off the pod midnight. Bet I'm going to play COD till 2. WandaVision. Bingo. Now I'm going to have to do it tomorrow. Which, hey, I'll run it back. I will play COD till 2 in the morning. Don't fucking test me, but I was really looking forward to it tonight.
My roommate a couple days ago, I made him finally go through because he had only watched up to episode 2 because he watched the first 2 episodes whenever they came out on the first day, and so I made him watch the rest. And he came down to me tonight, and he's like, "Hey, tomorrow do you want to stay up until 2 to watch it?" And I said, "You say that like I haven't been doing that for the past 2 weeks, or for the past 3 to 4 weeks." And he was like, "Oh, I didn't know." And I said, "Yeah, of course. What the fuck do you think I am?"
Well, fucking duh.
I've been staying up Thursdays until 2 a.m. for the past 6 months.
Yeah, Mando too. Yeah, God, I don't know how you guys did it. Good on you.
I got a couple weeks of a break, and then I started again.
Man, I can't wait. I'm
fucking
wait.
Ready for episode 7.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
3 more. That's it. 3 more. That's it. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it like I say it every week. We only have 3 more. There is a lot to happen. It is going to be... See, this is how I felt. I'm excited because it's you just know eventually, they can't keep making room to, leave shit up in the air. They can't keep getting away with it. They gotta go for it. They gotta lay it all out at some point. They gotta start the process at least with some of these arcs and plots. They have to. Especially since you said it's a mini-series. Now that I know that, I feel even more concrete about it. It's we've had 3 more episodes, period. Some can carry over to Multiverse of Madness, and but not everything. I mean,
some
everything
things have to be answered.
Unless we're gonna break down into the Star Wars, where the end of this season is gonna kick off an announcement of a gazillion Marvel fucking TV projects, more that just build further. I guess unless that's the case, but
I'm ready for the next 3 episodes of this. I'm ready for Multiverse of Madness, for Winter Soldier or Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm ready for Loki. Is Loki still getting his own?
Yes. What is it? Did you not see the trailer? Did you not see the trailer for it?
No, I have not seen the trailer.
Oh, you got to go watch it. It's good.
Okay.
Theory. While we're here, while we'll finish it, we can wrap this up quick. I saw a theory because have you seen that? Well, you haven't obviously, Miles, but I'm sure Colton noticed Loki in a suit and he's got the black sunglasses and on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said that he could be like DB Cooper, which I don't know if anybody in here knows about that story, but that would be fucking awesome. I would fucking love that. That would be so dope.
That'd be outstanding.
That would be funny.
Owen Wilson's in the show too. You don't probably know that, Miles. Owen Wilson's in it.
Owen
And
Wilson
I
is
am
going to be in Loki?
No, hear me out. He actually looks super awesome in the trailer. I'm not gonna lie to you. It looks
That
like
just-
it's pretty sick.
That sounds so weird.
I promise it's not like, wow, Owen Wilson. It's more like, oh, hey, this guy's pretty good. Like, he belongs.
No, see, now that makes me mad because if I have
Well,
Owen Wilson in a TV show,
well,
I want his one and only line to just him be popping up on the screen and just go, like seeing Loki do something and just going, wow.
yeah, well, I mean, who's to say we won't get it?
Going, wow.
I mean, who's to say we won't get it? But like, I'm just saying,
Wow.
his personality in this like trailer is fuck. Like, as soon as we wrap, you got to go watch it because it's good.
Don't worry, already planning on it.
Great.
Wow.
Great.
But when is what format is that? Is that going to be like a mini series too, or potentially multi-season show?
I'm imagining most of the stuff we get from Marvel will be miniseries.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think the universe is just. I think it's too big. You can't expand too big in the TV shows just yet. Like, I think with Colton said something on Twitter the other day about X-Men being perfect to put in TV show form. That would be multi-series,
like multiple seasons
sure.
Because you have multiple.
But I just feel like with this,
X-Men.
Yeah, but I feel like
was going
with
to say
this,
though, Loki could also be another one since he's like a different like timeline or whatever now. He's a different, like he's a whole different thing now. So you could have multiple seasons where it shows what happens in this new timeline,
True,
and then eventually branch it back into the Marvel universe,
or just not branch it at all. Because I think there's more. I think that's more fun to think about. Is that there is no like MCU level stakes on that show. You can be as fucking loony as you fucking want. Go for it.
Potentially, like bring it back into the rest of the expanded universe through like a multiverse of madness.
Oh, yeah.
Loki's going to be folded back in with Multiverse of Madness. I think
someone eventually goes to visit and be like, "All right, what the fuck's going on?" And
they can't quit this man Loki. They are in love with Tom Hiddleston. The fans are too. I mean, the fans are too. But like, this man cannot be. He can do no wrong. He stays forever.
Once again, just the perfect actor for that character.
Oh my God, they hit it on the nose.
I mean, has Marvel had a single bad casting decision?
Tony.
Tony. They recast Terrence Howard as Rhodey for Don Cheadle.
Did you guys see, okay, while we're on the subject of recasting, did you guys see the petitions for what's her character? I'm already forgetting the name of the character.
For Don Cheadle to replace Gina Carano as Cara Dune.
Well, I knew Gina Carano. I couldn't think of Cara Dune though. But yeah, Don Cheadle to replace Cara Dune. That's fucking hilarious. I'm sorry.
That's pretty funny. So Don Cheadle. I think the casting decision that they've made that I like the least is probably Captain Marvel, and as much as I don't like her that much, I think she's still a good casting decision for it.
No, I think Marvel's done such an extremely good job.
It's amazing.
And here's what I'll say: I feel like they do a great job of doing justice to fans, and I'll be honest, like there's got to be at least one person at Marvel that sees the fan cast. Like there's one person that sees this shit. Somebody sees it. And like, I'm not saying that fan casts are gonna have that big of an impact, but like, I feel like they do in a general sense kind of take into account things like that.
Yeah, but they might not actually choose that person, but I would imagine they probably are like, that's a good idea. Let's find someone that's kind of like him or her,
or find another character
better.
for a said person. Like Keanu Reeves is gonna come in. I refuse to believe he's staying out of the MCU in general, but everyone had him pegged for Moon Knight, and he's not.
Also, like Donald Glover, he was petitioned to be the new Spider-Man at one point, but then they were like, "We'll fold him in, but he's not going to be Spider-Man."
I was going to say, because he plays like Miles Morales' uncle, right?
Yeah, he could potentially be Prowler, potentially. I mean, which I
would love.
Man, Childish Gambino in a villain role would be so sick. I would love to see him pull that shit off.
Role,
absolutely. But seeing him go that direction would be awesome.
But and also being a villain who's not really even like a real villain.
Yeah, he just steals things from rich people.
Yeah. No, but I mean, yeah, and I mean in the sense of like he's and like as from the Spider-Man, what's the name of that Spider-Man movie? And yeah, the Spider-Verse movie, where he's like bad, and then as soon as you realize Miles Morales is Spider-Man, he's like, oh fuck. All right, I guess I'll be a good guy.
He's got morals around him, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
guys, I think we should
Hayward.
We should wrap this up.
Yeah.
Probably.
We went on quite the tangent there. That got away from us very fast.
Yeah. This has been the Penny Bloom Podcast. 'Twas I, Colton Robertson. I was joined by my good friend, Miles Buttress. Thank you, buddy.
Hey, anytime, man.
I mean, next week even. Thank you to the man on the screen besides me that I can see and you cannot. KBZ, Kyler Barnett.
Absolutely no problem. Joseph, we miss you.
Joseph, we miss you. Absolutely.
Hey, this is going to prove if Joseph listens to the end, though. Because if he doesn't acknowledge this, then we know he doesn't listen till the end. So, Joseph, we're fucking watching your ass, too. No. So, we miss you, and Joseph, we're watching you.
Joseph, if you make it to this point in the episode, text in the group chat, peanut butter baby pimples.
Bingo. Got his ass.
It's a random combination of words that we'll only know he would say if he listened to the end of the episode.
We got his ass.
We got his ass. Well, again, thank you, everybody.